Woo! All right, we are live. Welcome back to another Basement Radio Arcade podcast. We're waiting for the rest of the panel to join us. We're going to have a special guest joining us today. We're going to have Jeremy, our residential PlayStation, Sony PlayStation retail representative, join us. Hopefully, Forte gave him the link to the invite. So hold on. You know what, B? I gotta hold on a second, man.
No, you good, man. Do your thing.
Give Jeremy this link. All right. Cool. All right. So we're gonna have Eric Jackson and Slimo Backslap and Forte Jeremy joining us shortly, but I do have B Money. B, what's going on, man?
Oh, not much, man. Another great gaming week and great Wednesday, man. So I'm glad to be here.
Yes, yeah, exactly. Real quick, before we get the show started, I can't even talk. I just want to say, I want to do a quick intervention real quick, man.
Go for it.
Lord King, I love you, Lord King. You're like a brother to me. Seriously, and you know we got love for ILP, for King, right? B? Love him.
Those are the brothers. Those brothers over there.
Love him. But King, what are you talking about here, sir? These tweets that I've seen today. You told me to get the paternity test. Okay? I went. It came back PC. I got the test. The baby's not mine. But King, what is this? Mark my word. King, I love you. I love you, King. You are my dude. I'm doing this out of love. This is an intervention. If you're listening, knock twice. King, I'm like Michael Irvin right now. I don't even know what you said. Mark my words. If they fall behind this generation and lose, it is the last Sony PlayStation you will get from the Sony brand. They put this console together on a budget. They're limiting production on purpose. They close divisions. As a person looking in, does that look good?
I don't know what King talking about, man.
Yeah. Yo, I'm
lost words, man. You know what
I'm just lost. Yo, King, I love you, King. I know you're loyal to the green. You wave the green banner. That's your baby. I get it. It's
beautiful, ain't it?
It is. But
funny.
I don't understand what is. I'm stuttering. I'm like Michael Irvin right now.
What you confused?
I'm just confused by. Look, I love King. I love you. I do.
You talking to King like he here.
I know it's an intervention. It is a virtual intervention we're having right now.
Oh Lord.
Yes.
He said an intervention.
He done straight up spit up your feelings.
No, I don't understand. I'm just like, what is going on?
Look, man, I read that tweet and I was like, oh well, that's King being King, about to get a rile out of all the PlayStation fans.
Oh my! I tell you, it was funny though. I did get some. I got some humor out of it. But
look, you supposed to do what J-Dub did. Just put a meme up and just let it be.
Yeah.
See, J-Dub is he's used to this type of back and forth.
No, J. Let me tell you something. When you got J.
Go ahead.
When you got J-Dub lost for words. Yeah, J-Dub.
And he went deep in that tweet too. He was like, divisions.
And I asked King, I said, what do you specifically, what do you refer to budget console? The SSD? The custom CPU, GPU? That the console's going to have features that are going to be at RDNA 3?
Look, man.
You remember what?
I'm just walking into this. Is someone talking shit about my system? Is that what's going on?
Yes. Hey, we're gonna call you Jay, by the way, because or Chrono, cool. Because you know what? Because I also want to be cognizant of the fact that you do work for Sony, and we don't want to. I don't want to get you in any kind of trouble. We know Sony does not play when it comes to certain things, so
Yeah, they technically, as long as it's clear that I'm not speaking for the company, and just, although they know that I work for PlayStation, technically it's that weird gray area. But
yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, it's that
All right,
gray
well, you know
area
what?
I walk on every day.
Yeah, well, Corda, hey, welcome back to Brat, man. We're happy to have you back. Forte,
Hey,
thanks for
thanks
getting
for
it back,
having me.
man. So
Thank you for having me.
Hey,
Are we
what's going
live
on?
yet? Oh, we are live.
we are live. Yeah, what's up, E?
Oh,
What
that's
up?
weird. Oh, it's
Eric Jackson, who literally is taller than the PS5. What's up, man?
Not by much.
You wild, man. We have
No, I'm just-
$600
I'm just
Forte.
laughing. I'm laughing because I'm watching how many people are like, making the height comparisons and stuff, doing really bad photoshops.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I saw somebody had the life size joint, man.
Oh yeah,
Oh, I
Yeah,
did see
that-
that. Yeah, somebody
yeah, that
had it
joint
on
was
their
like-
desk.
Yeah.
Somebody had it like
Yeah.
6 feet tall. I was like, oh,
Oh, the light-
Is that the one that was sitting next to? Oh, yeah, man.
Yeah.
That's
the height of a
huge.
server farm.
Yeah.
Cold
Hey,
man.
I'm gonna have fun tonight. So since CS says RDNA 3 is BS, actually it's not BS. There will be features that will. You can go back and listen to what Paul from Red Gaming Tech said on our show. You'll see, you'll understand what he's talking about. He's got some really good, solid sources on this. Anyhow, and I don't know why anyone cares whether RDNA 3 is in PS5. If it is, I mean, who cares, right? Does it matter? It doesn't matter, right?
Does it play games?
Yeah, I mean, right? I mean, yeah,
Does it have a 4K Blu-ray player? Because it needs.
Yeah.
To have that.
yeah. I mean, so I don't know.
It would
I mean, maybe,
have it, but
yeah. So, but
Hey,
hey,
I need to have it.
yeah, $600, right? Hey, Eric, I promise tonight I will actually give you a proper outro.
You ain't gonna forget E tonight, man.
Yeah, I'm gonna give. Yeah,
Man, you just don't want me to start Grab podcast.
grab.
Oh,
Hey,
I'm gonna
hey,
start
thank you,
poaching
everyone.
from the audience to join Grab.
I think you already asked Erica if she wanted to join Grab.
oh,
But by the way, I want to give a big shout out to the over
was the
5,000
piece
people that viewed last week's podcast. Thank you so much for the support. Appreciate it. If you're new, guys, everyone in the live chat, hit that like button and subscribe. If you haven't done so already, hit that bell notification so you know when we go live. Appreciate the support as always. Love everyone in the live chat. And let's have some fun tonight talking video games. But I do, King, we love you. God bless. I'm gonna have to hit you up in DM later on. So, and then I think Slomo should be joining us soon, Mr. Slomo Backslap. But hey, so Forte, you're going with that $600 thing again, huh?
What? When have I stopped?
I thought you did stop. I thought you changed your mind. No,
No, I didn't change my mind. I basically said, look, man, it's gonna be $600. One of those says it's gonna be $600.
okay,
One
all right.
will be.
One will be all right. So we got some big topic.
Probably Xbox.
No, I don't think. I think they're both going to be 500. On that note, we got a lot of topics to talk today. We have some Xbox related news with the July event. Heard it's going to be a awesome event. What we're hearing, and we're going to talk about the PlayStation 5 price leaks, and we're also going to discuss WB games being for sale. But I do want to talk about something real quick that B Money and I were talking about as relates to smart delivery. And it's interesting. I've had a couple of people tweet me asking, is Sony going to have smart delivery? And I'm thinking to myself, well, I mean, yeah, I mean, you can, it's really up to the third-party developers if they want to allow free upgrades. And we're seeing that right now. We're seeing Bungie and, who else is doing free upgrade? It was Bungie and someone else recently.
Ubisoft is doing it with Rainbow Six Siege. There was a couple other people who said they were doing it.
Yeah, so we do have a couple.
Madden said they're going to do it. EA said they're going to do it. Madden
temporarily doing it.
Yeah, EA's got its own spin. So look, some version of smart delivery is coming. But one thing that it was kind of interesting, and B, you brought up this point about smart delivery with PlayStation 5, and I think the one thing that people are missing too is one, we know that with PlayStation 5 it's going to have PS5 exclusives, right? That's one big differentiator as opposed to the Xbox, where there's really no generation cutoff, right? There's a new Xbox, it's going to play support games that are on the old consoles, where PlayStation 5 is doing that traditional, new generation PS5 exclusives only on PS5, right?
Right.
Yeah.
But B, you brought up something interesting about what Mark Cerny said during the reveal that I think a lot of people skipped over. And go ahead, B. Like, what did, like, you mentioned it earlier before we went live. What was it specifically that Cerny mentioned that ties into this question about whether or not you can play your PlayStation 4 games on PS5?
So a lot of people have been just, wondering if Sony is going to have this whole smart delivery system. And I understand if like you feel like if you buy a game, let's say Cyberpunk this holiday, and then, you want to play it on the next Xbox, and you have both versions of the content either on your old Xbox or your new Xbox. But if you remember what Mark Cerny was talking about in regards to the PlayStation 4 backward compatibility, is that there were 3 different ways that there was backward compatibility. So there was a standard mode, a pro mode, and then like a boosted mode. So all the games that you would imagine that were going to be backwards compatible for PS4 to PS5 are going to run in one of those 3 modes. So if we look at just like The Last of Us and Ghost of Tsushima and just the games that come out this year, everybody's like, oh, well, they're just going to make you buy remasters for the PS5. But it would only make the most sense that when you plug those games into your PS5, that they run in whatever the best mode is, allocated for that game on the PS5. So if you just take a moment and pay attention to what, the information that they've been delivering, you would understand that this whole smart delivery is just a term that is being used, and everybody's making it popular because of, all the noise around it. But you will be able to get the same thing, if you buy a game on PS4 and play it on your PS5.
So
yeah, let's keep it a buck, B Money. If there wasn't this like little Twitter thing, you know what I'm saying, where people feel like every day it's the same conversation, like we got to keep the energy, we got to do this, we got to do this, we got to do this. Nobody would even be talking about that whole thing like it's like the next coming of Jesus.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like nobody made this bigger deal when Sony was doing Frostbite.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? But now it's like it's a piece of ammo for a war, a fake war that people keep wanting to fight for whatever reason. And the war hasn't really become about, console platforms itself. It's just like, you said this. So, you had a rose on your piece of the cake when we had the birthday party. I didn't get a rose. So you need to tell me, that it's all good. You know what I'm saying? It's like, you got more frosting than me.
Maybe we just need a new marketing title for it. I mean, because you're right, we did have a lot of people forget that we did have cross-buy early in the PlayStation 4 life cycle. For the life of me, I can't remember any of the games that were cross-buy, but we did have it where there were a few titles that carried. You bought the PS3 version, and well, unlike the Xbox, we gave you a copy of the PS4 version, and a lot of people forget that. So
or the Vita version.
Or the Vita version
came with three different versions of the game. So
yeah.
Well, I think the biggest thing is, and I agree with all you guys. I just think right now everybody just is super hyper focused on just the communication, and they want that communication. They don't want it to be some ambiguous thing that no one truly knows. Even though, and they did say that in their release, the fact that it's been a couple of months since then, they haven't said anything else. And trust me, Sony hears all this noise about what's going on with smart delivery or backwards compatibility, and the fact that it's like the more you don't say anything, the more you leave it up to consumers to build their own expectations to what they think is going to happen.
But this is what happens when you do that. Like, everybody builds expectations up for whatever is going on. Rather it's this, the PlayStation 5 event or the Xbox July event, everybody has an expectation of what it is. But we can't do anything until the information is presented. So Sony has said repeatedly throughout this entire year that they still have more features of the console that they're revealing. So until those features are revealed, like, why is everybody jumping the gun?
Well, people jump down Microsoft and Sony's neck until they actually came out and announced what they wanted to hear from the system. I mean, that kind of goes both ways. The only reason it's not so much heavy on the Xbox side is because Microsoft has pretty much been singing a choir ever since December. You know, there is not, and trust me, it's like one company is pushing the narrative so much that everybody wants to hear what the other side has to say. It's part of that whole, like you said, that whole Twitter war thing where everybody wants to have ammunition for their side and they want to have conversations about that. And when one side has more than the other, they use that to further their own plays and what they want to talk about. You know, they did have all of these things like cross-buy, and that was fine, but that was like literally buy it on one and you get on another, and that was clear. There was no mistaking what that was. When they announced it, and everybody just fell in line. So the moment Sony comes out and says, and I think the whole thing is around that they said there's going to be backwards compatibility. That's the thing. They said we will, by the end of the generation, have over 4,000 games that will be backwards compatible with the system. So everybody knows that's going to be it, but no one knows what games. Like you could speculate what games they're going to be. We could say God of War, Spider-Man, they say the top 100 games are going to be on that list, but it's just
the top 100 games are going to be boosted.
Yeah, boosted, as long as they work on the system. If they're boosted on the system, they still work. It doesn't matter anything. As long as I can take that disc and put it in on my PlayStation or take my download and play it on the PlayStation 5, that's all people want to. That's all they care about. So they know that the games are going to be, but no one knows what games are going to be. And then the biggest conversation is we all know the backwards compatibility only really matters at the very beginning of a generation. So that's the whole, like, people, it's so loud right now because everybody wants to know what are we going to be playing when these systems first come out, because the first, outside of Ratchet and Clank, which we don't know if it's going to be day and date the day the system launches, and other games like that, what are we going to be playing outside of the games that we already have? I would think those games are going to be there, but people would just like to know if
Spider-Man.
Well, this is the thing, like
Spider-Man, we do know that, but what about everything else?
Exactly, but this is the thing, like, why is it that everybody needs all them? Like all those trailers, the game.
Sony
or
took your mic away.
Hey, like, you're bot, dude.
Am I?
You were.
Yeah, you were just botting. Yeah, go ahead, man. Try again.
No, but I don't understand why like everybody makes a big deal when those are all announcement trailers. There was one trailer that said it was coming in the holiday.
Right.
So why is it that when anybody question any of the games that were shown at the Microsoft conference? No, none of them said they're coming out.
Well, no, they had a whole section that said all these games are launch date with the system.
Okay, so why didn't anybody ask about any of the games that didn't have the date?
Well, I would tell you why, because everybody knows if those games don't come out, they know that they got a plethora of games that they don't have to worry about. That's why I keep telling you, the whole conversation is when these systems launch. This won't be a conversation in a year because nobody will be playing the games that they played on their Xbox One X a year from now. They'll be playing all their newer games. It's literally just because Cyberpunk is a game that's going to be smart delivery right on day one. Everybody knows I'll be able to play that game right when my Xbox comes out. They know what's coming, so it doesn't really matter what games are coming day and date with the launch of the system. It's like, what are you going to be taking advantage of your system? Are you going to have games that's going to be native to your system that you're going to play? And I understand what people want. It's just that, but it's also part of the whole Twitter war thing. I mean, that's just how it's going to be for the first year of these systems coming out, because that's when BC is the most important to people. Outside of that, it's not going to matter anymore. So it's just the launch lineups they're pretty much going to probably be the same. Halo may not even make the launch lineup, but guess what? If Halo don't make the launch lineup, people with Xboxes will still be fine, because they'll be like, well, I got all these other games that Xbox made backwards compatible, and I can still play these games on my X, and I know it. Sony might do the same thing, but people just want to know right now what's going to be there available for them to buy.
I kind of feel like, well,
what's up, Slow-Mo?
What's up, man?
Hey, real quick, so before you talk, I gotta get the super chat, man, because it's been sitting here for a little bit. Rate the Emperor, the $2 super chat. Thank you, Rate. Says greatness begins tomorrow night. I can't wait. Yes, The Last of Us Part 2. Midnight. Can't wait. Go ahead, Slow-Mo.
About EA.
I thought he meant EA Play.
Yeah, I was like,
I was
Nah.
listening to that, bro. I was like, are you talking about EA tomorrow?
No,
I
Rage
was
is on to
racking
something.
my
If they show
brain.
if they show that Mass Effect remaster, then he's on to something.
right. I was racking my brain trying to figure out what he was talking about. But yeah,
We with you now, bro.
I see you guys' points about smart delivery and yada yada yada. But I think what is different about this generation going into next generation is that now we have the onset of the ongoing games. We saw that a lot on PC because of course the PC doesn't deal with generations, but now we see this on console, and you got games like Apex Legends, you got Overwatch, you got Rainbow Six Siege, you got now Destiny, Warframe, all these games that are just consistently iterating off of the same title. Sea of Thieves is another one. And what's happening is that people are going to still want to play those games. That's why even though I disagree with them doing it, Sony started their show with Grand Theft Auto 5. Not because of Grand Theft Auto 5, the actual campaign story, which was okay, but it's a 2-generation old story and 2-generation old game design. But because of the GTA Online, that a huge number of people are still playing and still buying the game over again so they can get more money to continue to buy things within the game. So it's just, backwards compatibility this coming generation is going to be more important than it's ever been because of that in itself. This is why people are interested in, I want to make sure that the games I'm playing are still going to be available next gen. And then I do see why Microsoft is kind of focusing in on, hey, just by sheer, just by the hardware itself, some of these games are going to be enhanced. And why people are kind of asking Sony, are you going to have some of those same things? Now, from what I'm seeing, both sides are saying when it comes to third party, it's up to the developer.
Right. Yeah.
So it really isn't much of an argument because it's up to the publisher and developer whether they're going to do it or not. Whether they're going, it will be the hardware is going to allow it to be playable, but whether it's going to get any of the enhancements, any of the nice, features and benefits of the new hardware is all up to that publisher and whether he's going to charge you for that or not. And so, all the console warriors making a big deal about this stuff. It's really not up to Microsoft or Sony to make sure that happens. If it doesn't happen for a game that you care about, you need to be talking to that publisher about that game and saying, what are you going to do about this? Ubisoft, who doesn't seem to say a word about any of this kind of smart delivery / cross buy stuff at all. Like, what are you going to do about this? So,
right.
I thought they were the first ones to say it.
They were about which game?
Rainbow Six Siege was the first game that was announced to be like cross-buy on both PlayStation and Xbox.
Okay, all right. I just kind of threw them out there as an example. I didn't really, I couldn't remember if they were or were not.
If they were doing it, they're not
But
going to do it.
Ubisoft seems to be so against so many different things. It's just like I just assumed they weren't. But Rockstar could be very well be someone that you may need to have some questions about, or especially Activision in regards to a lot of their games that come out, especially on an annual basis. So we'll see what happens, but it's
even
EA that
EA
needs to have the focus on them about this, and not really the platform holders.
Right. So I was gonna say even EA, like with Madden, had like some convoluted thing that they were talking about doing. It wasn't like directly complete smart delivery for free. It was like, okay, we're gonna offer for free for a certain extent, and then we're gonna take it back and do this. And it was like, I think when people started pushing back, they tried to clarify that. But yeah, I don't think it's anything different than what's going on right now. Like, it's just like when the X dropped, Microsoft was like, it's up to the publisher if they want to do the enhancement and put it up there. You know what I'm saying? So it's kind of like the same thing. And when you look at it, like Slow-Mo was saying, from Sony side to Microsoft side or whatever, whoever they're partner with, you're getting the answer on it. But like again, if another publisher's like, no, I'm not doing that, they're not going to drop the ban hammer on them.
Right.
Yeah.
But anything first party, I think you're going to see it. That makes absolute sense. That would be there.
Well, and that's the thing. Like everybody, I think it's mostly known on the Xbox side, and people people that say that they don't, they lying, because they always use that whole fight. Well, we all know Microsoft said it's publisher dependent and stuff, so people realize that for Xbox, that if it doesn't, it's on the publisher. It's just the fact that Xbox has this wide viewpoint on what backwards compatibility is, and they're not afraid to talk about it. And you know what backwards compatibility for Xbox is.
They put a lot into it. They should talk about it. That's what I'm saying.
It can't be mistaken. So it's like when one company is like PlayStation come out and say, we pretty much know they're not going to do it on one system and not do it on the other when it comes to third party. They're not going to make Cyberpunk. You can pretty much say if Cyberpunk's going to be enhanced on Xbox, it's going to be enhanced on PlayStation 2. It really just comes down to the stance that Sony's going to take with their first party. People are literally using this just to fight a war that really doesn't matter. But until Sony comes out and says that this is what we're doing, this is going to be the conversation we're going to have every week until Sony says it, because until you hear it out their mouth, it's not real. That's literally what it is. It's not real until you hear it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Hey, what's up, Slap Happy Gamers? It's been a minute. I just saw him in the live chat.
Bring Jeremy back in. He's in the waiting room.
Oh, okay. Thank you. What happened? He get disconnected?
Yeah.
All right, here we go. We got Jeremy back in the house.
Hey, sorry about that.
Yeah, it's okay. So, how much did you hear about this, Kronos? I'm gonna get you because you were you're the PlayStation rep, retail rep. So, what are your thoughts about the smart delivery and what Sony's doing with bringing PS4 games to PlayStation 5? What are your thoughts, man?
Well, with backwards compatibility, it's always been backwards compatibility has always been the home of hardcore gamers. They're the ones that really want it. As much as the average consumer says they want backwards compatibility, a lot of research has shown that once that new hotness comes out, people don't play the older games, and that's one of the main reasons, aside from the difference in architecture, just the money that it costs to backwards engineer to get the PS3 to work on the PS4, it wasn't worth it. Microsoft needed to do something like that because they weren't winning with the games that they were coming out with, so they had to open up their library, and so they invested that kind of money to bring to get the older catalog in. And make no mistake, and I hate being cynical about it, but if a gaming company can make it so that we will rebuy a game, they'll do it. They will come up, they will make us buy that remaster, and we will hate it, and yet we will give them our ducats.
Someone pick up the phone.
This is Sony calling him, telling him to
Yo, get Ryan on the phone.
Get your ass off this podcast.
Step into my office.
Here are the guidelines of what you can and cannot say.
But that's what Slow-Mo. But that's what Slow-Mo was saying. Don't get mad at the platform makers. Take it to the publishers, because like you said, let's all look, the publishers in the business to make money. And I don't think third parties, we see what EA's been kind of they have their own take on this. And I can't see Activision going full in and saying, oh, we're going to give you, the next Call of Duty, free upgrade. I don't see that happening, right? They're publicly traded companies. They want to make money, but like Slow-Mo said, that's where you have to take it to the publishers and be like, no mas.
But gamers, we are our own worst enemies. As much as we complain about these very predatory behaviors of the companies, we're going to be the first one to buy that DLC. Right. As much as we complain about it. And let's also not forget too that with Cyberpunk, I personally think that we'll have some sort of buy the PS4 version and play it on the PS5. I truly think that'll happen, but you have to also remember, where's the marketing money going? Does Microsoft have the marketing rights to it? So you probably won't hear the PlayStation version being able to play it, because everything is going to be branded Microsoft. So
based on like how Destiny was, and everybody's like, Destiny, that's on Xbox? What?
Yeah, exactly.
Look, remember, Jeremy, when you came to my store? Remember one day we had Xbox? Like, listen, no, real story. This man walked in my store, and we had made cover art and like cut like the Xbox logo off the top of some older cover art and put it on top of Destiny so people can know that it was that it was on Xbox. Jeremy came in the store because they sent them around and said, "Hey, y'all can't do that because it doesn't support. It doesn't. Xbox doesn't have the marketing right, and we literally had to take it down. Literally had to take it down because we couldn't even show that the game was on Xbox.
That's where the money goes. So,
but I remember you telling that story, but they weren't playing around. That's why they had the remember the Destiny cologne, the Xbox marketing. Remember that Destiny cologne?
Yeah, I forgot about the Destiny cologne.
Yeah, that was funny.
It was in a cool water bottle. Crazy.
Yeah. So Jeremy, so you're saying like a game, okay, so The Last of Us 2 is coming out, right? And by all indications, this game is probably going to be in conversation for Game of the Year, maybe Game of the Generation again. It's getting stellar reviews. I think this game is going to do gangbusters, like in terms of numbers, right? Is that a game that we could expect when the PlayStation 5 releases to be able to play on PS5?
I mean, they had commented. I can't remember who exactly commented that games made after a certain point will have that functionality. That there'll be some sort of PlayStation 5 mode, and I do believe that The Last of Us is actually, although one of the earlier ones, one of the ones that are supposed to be able to,
Jeremy, Croto, real quick. They did say, so Sony previously said or confirmed that any new PS4 games going through the certification process after July 17th, 2020 must be compatible with PS5.
Yeah. So, but I do remember hearing that Last of Us and Ghost of Tsushima were, while before that time frame, obviously because they're first party, should already fall under that banner. Now, what kind of enhancements can we expect? I don't know, but the mind can wander and dream, right?
Yeah, interesting.
The fact that, like you said, July, like I said, this is the whole thing. This is the whole argument. Now, somebody that heard this podcast tomorrow is going to literally go on another podcast and say, see, look, they even said it after July, Last of Us comes out in June. Did Sony actually say that it is? Well, we don't know. And it's just, that's the whole conversation. Like, no one knows exactly. Well, we can all say it's going to happen, but until Sony comes out and says it, this will be the conversation.
Yeah, I mean, look, I think it's okay to speculate. Like we all do it, but the issue that I have is when people are like, "Oh, it's confirmed, it's not happening.
Yeah,
they're not going to do this," and they're anti-consumer. Like, whoa, let's pump the brakes here. Like,
first of all, people need to understand the difference between anti-consumer and consumer-friendly. Just throwing out anti-consumer. A lot of people don't really understand what anti-consumer practices really are.
You're anti-consumer. You're anti-consumer.
Yeah, I mean, you're hearing that from. I heard some people complain that just because we're not making games on the PS4 that'll, or PS5 exclusive games playable on the PS4, that we're anti-consumer. I'm just like, that's not how that works. No, that's not what that is. So
no, it's not.
I tell people to get with the times when it comes to that. I'm sorry, I'm selfish as a gamer. I want.
I do too. I want games specifically designed for that new console. I mean, not a knock against Microsoft. There's when people are going to get upset, but I mean that's just me. That's what I want.
Yeah, I don't mind that way.
But I miss those days, where games were designed where they released the same game, but like back in the day when there was the transition between the PS2 and the PS3, we had a PS2 version of Amazing Spider-Man, and then we had a PS3 version of Amazing Spider-Man, and you saw the difference. You can feel the difference. Or games made specifically for even in a certain way the Wii, that took advantage of what the Wii could offer. That's what I want. I want to see whatever the Microsoft system can do. I want to see games that take full advantage of the power of that system. That's what I want.
Yeah. Well, I think the console is going to take advantage, or games will take advantage of the Series X. I just think like what Optimus Codes talked about on this podcast is that the games might not be designed specifically, taking there could be, from a design perspective, sacrifices that are made to be able to scale those games on the lesser consoles. So where with Sony right now, PS5, that's probably not going to be the case from a first party perspective. Like if you look at Horizon Forbidden West, which I think looks amazing.
Yes.
I mean, seriously, like one of the best. Somebody said on a podcast that game didn't look better than Horizon Zero Dawn. I'm like, what? And
while they were watching on their 1080 stream.
And I'm just like, I don't get. I'm like, okay, but it's I mean, that's the exciting part about the PlayStation 5 console, right? Is that there's going to be games that are specifically designed for that. Like we saw Horizon Forbidden West. They even came out and said today that like basically there's like no load times. Like if you fast travel, no load times, right? It's just everything's just instantaneous, and that excites me. Like that excites me. That game, and who knows when that comes out? Maybe it comes out 2021. I hope sooner than later. God, if that would have been a launch game, it would have been amazing. But
what, Horizon?
Yeah, Horizon Forbidden West.
There was something that came out today. I can't remember if it was from Insomniac or not, but there was something saying that it would be out in 2021.
Ooh, okay.
Yeah, it was the creator director.
I knew it was somebody official. But so it's. I'm thinking it's probably spring. That seems to be like how they like to do that. And then if there come any delays, then you got kind of like your Last of Us, your Ghost of Tsushima situations where it just shows up in the summer. But
let's just hope that Nintendo doesn't decide to drop Breath of the Wild 2 at the exact same time, because that would just two times in a row.
I mean, tell you that was a tough. As a gamer for me, I'm like, which one do I play?
On my pocketbook. Yeah,
which one?
A week apart.
Take my wallet.
Yeah, a week apart. It was just like, it was bad.
Yeah.
I have a quick question for the panel. Do you guys think that any of the Xbox community will be caring as much about backwards compatibility and smart delivery after the July event?
No.
Yes.
Depends on what's shown.
There you go.
Yeah,
there you go. So now that's why I'm kind of asking, because
they're going to show bangers, man. They're not going to care.
If they show as this one leak or supposed leak said, nothing but mic drop moments, nothing but mic drop moments. Yeah, but then like if that's the case, then I really kind of feel like dude's not going to really be talking about smart delivery like that.
They won't talk about it. Real quick, guys, I want to go to the live chat here real quick. Everyone, please, we have 124 people watching right now. Please hit that like button. We got 25 likes. We got one dislike. I can guess who that was from. Our buddy, the Russian bot, is in the live chat.
He's just following his programming. He can't help himself.
Yeah, I know. He showed up early though. I was surprised. Usually he shows up after the fact, but everyone, please hit that like button. Let's get up to over 100 likes. Definitely appreciate the support as always. But let me go back to you, Chrono, real quick. PlayStation reveal. We saw 2 SKUs. Did you have any indication, knowledge of that there were going to be 2 SKUs, or were you just as surprised as the rest of us? We've kind of.
So that was not like, granted, and last time I was here, I told you, I'm working from home, and working from home with a company basically means that if we were bottom of the totem pole before, they ain't telling us shit now. So I didn't even think that they were going to show the system at all. I thought it was just going to be focusing on games. And then lo and behold, they showed 2 different systems. As much as I follow the industry on my own, there were no hints that was going to be our second system. Everyone kept saying that it's going to be, everyone kept saying that it's going to be similar to how the Lockhart or whatnot. It'll just be the difference between a Slim and a Pro. That's what's going to happen. Nope. No idea. had no idea, and I was pleasantly surprised. So.
All right, sorry about that, guys. My wife was talking to me. Hey, so you were surprised. I think we're all surprised. But let me ask you something else real quick. I don't know if you guys saw this this leak that just came up recently about the price of the PlayStation 5, and I think Forte. Are you saying the PS5 is also going to be $600 as well?
No.
I don't remember.
I said I said something's going to be $600. I didn't say which.
Okay,
I think Forte is just trying to win something. He's trying to get a W.
He's trying to win. He's trying to get W.
It doesn't matter what it is. It doesn't matter if it's a double storage PS5. Something's got to be $600 so he can say he wasn't wrong.
I'm trying to tell you, what are these
Forte? He's gonna see like a launch day bundle with 2 games and 2 controllers, $600.
No,
like I told you,
exactly.
I told you.
No, we
$600.
We can't count that. It's got to be the system.
He's gonna create an old Forte bundle at his GameStop and be like, "Look, I told you, $600."
I might take a screenshot of a system build for that price if it's not. I don't know.
Yeah. All right, guys. So I want to put this up on the screen real quick. There was a leak recently. Amazon. Who knows how true this is? This is something that was posted on Twitter, and the media has jumped on it already. Seen a couple articles about this, but it appears, at least according to this, again, I would take this with a grain of salt. And this is the European advertisement or placeholder for Amazon, the Sony PlayStation 5, as you can see, €499. Now, I had some people were saying, "Oh, well, that's not going to be $499 in the US." Well, if you go back to the launch of the PlayStation 4, it was $399 USD and €399 when the PlayStation 4 launched. So, $499 for the PS5 with the optical drive, and then I don't have the picture up, but according to this tweet, the digital version was $399, which I think last Thursday we talked about that we could see the optical version coming in at $500, and then the digital version coming in at $399. But Jeremy, or Chrono, gotta stop using your name, man. I don't want your phone to ring. Jim Ryan call you again. You know, if you were a betting man, wink, wink. What do you think, man? Is this? What do you think? Is this accurate? Could this be a thing?
From a company perspective, that is all just rumors and speculation. I'll be very honest. As a gamer, I think that would be a good price, but at the same time, it just doesn't feel realistic to me. I mean.
Ooh, please don't say more.
Okay.
Say more.
We're talking about high-end tech now, and I think that while as gamers we would love to have something at a $400 price point, I don't think that the tech will support it. Now, I don't think that we'll see like a $700 or $800 system. I don't think it'll get that crazy, But I mean, I think that you'll start seeing systems at a
Ooh, go ahead, just say it. Just say it.
I want to say 500.
Read my name.
I want to say 500, but I wouldn't be surprised if we see 6. I really wouldn't. I mean, and we're at a point where, and if the world wasn't in the state that it was, I think that the market could support a $600 system now. In comparison,
yeah.
I mean, in comparison to how it was when the PlayStation 3 launched. Or hell, even the Xbox One launched. I think that, and I mentioned this before, we are talking about a world where people are walking around with $1,000 phones in their pocket, and granted that was pre-virus, but, I think that the market could support it. Now, I think a lot of it, though, will be dependent on what Microsoft does, in terms of our pricing structure. But, I wonder how much wiggle room our company or both companies actually has to work with in terms of undercutting the other. So,
well, I would say if I was a betting man, I'm taking Microsoft. If Sony comes in at $599, I would not be surprised to see Microsoft come in at $499 with the Series X.
Oh yeah,
they're probably in a better look. They're in a better position to take that hit than Sony's. Not that Sony couldn't do it. I just don't think Sony would. And Microsoft, it sounds like Phil Spencer has the blessing of the CFO and Satya Nadella to basically you know, I think Mikey Barr even teased it, like the difference between one is a rounding error or something. I don't know if you guys remember that tweet. And the rounding error lead me to believe that that had something to do with the pricing of the Series X. But $600, man. I mean, it's a bold prediction, Cotton. I don't know, man. That's I don't know.
Because we don't want it to be right.
Yeah, I don't know. Hey, let me get these super chats real quick. We have Glorious War with a $5 super chat. Thank you, sir. It says Forte and JX expectations for The Last of Us Part 2 sales, and will GameStop carry the PS5 digital edition? Great show as always. Thank you, Glorious War. Appreciate the support. So that question is directed to Kronos and Forte. What are your expectations for The Last of Us Part 2? And then Forte, you got the last one with GameStop carrying the PS5 digital edition.
Honestly, when it comes to they reported that the reservation numbers in Europe are better than even Spider-Man, which was really well for us. I don't see why this would be why this wouldn't achieve that number either. I think it's going to do really well, but it's also a type of game that has legs, so I don't, it'll reach its lofty ambitions. I don't see why it wouldn't hit the 10 million mark like other games, within this year. So
yeah, let me ask you. So Kronos, do you have any idea? So pre-order numbers in North America, what do you think this thing does like the first 2 weeks on the market? You think it hits 5 million?
I mean, hell, if it is an M-rated game, and it isn't as, I guess, well known in the public space as well as like a God of War. But gamers are hungry. I don't know. I mean, I think it could easily clear a million, a couple million within the first weekend. Probably 2 or 3 million within the first weekend.
What did Final Fantasy do in the middle of a pandemic? The first week?
It was the top. It was the top. I know it was the top digital download during that time. So, I don't know the exact numbers, but I know it was the big thing. And considering there was no other, it was actually, it did really, really well for us from what I saw the numbers of.
Yeah, I agree with you, Jerry. I think it's things that probably does a couple mil, the first 2 weeks. Then the second part of the question, Forte. Well, Forte, I guess they asked you too what you thought The Last of Us was going to do. What do you think it's going to do based on maybe what you're seeing from your pre-orders and maybe buzz that you're hitting at your store?
I think it's going to do well because pre-orders always pick up in the stores the week of the game releasing, and starting this week was very, very strong. We did get our allocation in, and I was pleasantly surprised that Sony actually took care of us way more than we thought they was going to do. Because it was kind of being rumored that it was going to be like 1-to-1 for pre-orders for a while, and that still seems to kind of be the case for a lot of the titles going forward. But it looks like Sony is really doubling down on Ghost of Tsushima and Last of Us to make sure that we get as many of those as we can. So I'm expecting huge numbers on Friday because, like he just said, most people are just ready to play something, and this just happens to be probably one of the best games that came out this generation. So I think it's going to do very, very well. I'm very interested to see what those numbers come out looking like on Tuesday or Wednesday next week. When it comes to the system, they will carry it. Don't know in what kind of capacity they'll carry it. They probably it won't be the number one version of the SKU that they keep. They'll more than likely have more of the disc-based console, just because that helps them more long term to be able to sell more of those than it does the digital one. But they will sell it because at first they weren't selling the Xbox the all digital system, and then like halfway through they started selling them, and it come to find out that thing sold like hotcakes when they finally did get it in stock. It was being promoted in different ways through the company. I think GameStop has finally just come to the realization that they can't stop people from buying digital, and they basically tell all their associates just embrace it. It's still a sale. Even if they buy the system from you, they still got to buy controllers and headsets, and you can still sign them up for Xbox Live or PS Plus. So I think it's still going to be very critical to the stores to still attached to those, and that's the number one thing that the company goes after, which is attached. Games do help, but you can still buy those poser cards to the store. People don't want to put their credit cards on the PSN store, so they still have to come somewhere to buy them. So you'll still get some type of revenue off those systems, but I think they'll carry them. They just probably won't carry them in a mass supply like they'll carry the disc-based version.
Yeah, gotcha.
Man, I work for PlayStation. I'm just like, I'll just go to a store and buy a card. I'm not putting my credit card in.
Exactly. That's what people put their credit card in there, man.
That's funny,
Oh,
man.
that's pretty bad.
Yeah. Wow.
Hey, man, I'm old school. I was there for when the PS3 got hacked real bad.
Oh, that was bad. That was terrible. Sony, that was bad Sony.
That was bad.
As bad as it can get.
Yeah, that was as bad as So, well, let me go to the panel real quick, guys. I know we've talked a lot about pricing, but I'll go with you, Mr. Eric Jackson, who's taller than the PS5. What do you think, man? Is it $600, man? You think that's gonna happen?
$299.
You talk about the most sold console ever in history. If it's
All right.
Just throwing that PlayStation love, that E3 love. No, man, I'm still standing by 5, man.
Yeah, I am too, man. What about you, B? B, we have two individuals on this podcast who are very talented at prediction things. One of them is Slow-Mo Damas, and the other one's B Money. So B, what do you think, man? Final prediction.
See, man, with them throwing the second console in there, it changed my mind, but I'm still going 500 is the max. Like, I always felt like they was going to stick with $399, but I think $399 is going to be the value console with the digital one, and $499 for the disc space. I still feel like there's some rumblings of some BC stuff and some legacy stuff happening, and I think that's where they're going to try to show the value on a $499 console with the disc.
I mean, $499 would be the second most expensive console release for them outside of the PlayStation 3.
Yeah. But they keep talking about how they want to preface value, and we got to see what that is. So
yeah, that's a great point. Slow-Mo Damas, wise one.
Well, like.
Oh God!
Let me look at my crystal ball here and see what it tells me.
God.
I foresee Forte owing Slow-Mo Damas $60 in January. I'm sorry, that's the wrong fortune. That's the wrong fortune. That's Forte losing his bet to me. What's this other thing I see? I see $500 for the PlayStation 5, and I see $450 for the digital version.
Okay.
That's it.
All right. Okay.
I see a bundle for $600 for 5 games included, a controller, and apparently a plush version of a Pokemon given by a burly GameStop employee.
Oh my God. You wild, Slow-Mo.
That's the only thing you're getting at $600. All right, if you go to Forte's store, he's going to throw everything he can in there. They make it $600, and you walk out with a $599.99 price tag, and then he's going to try to make that the way him not owing me. Hey, actually, that's not even our bet. Never mind. Don't worry about that. But look, that's the only way. $600. Okay.
I ain't gonna have to work too hard. That controller gonna be $79.99, but with tax it's gonna be $600 either way.
Look, they can't. I don't. Look, that might be a different conversation we can have.
That controller gonna be
that DualSense is very advanced, but
it's gonna be expensive.
But this is the reason why I think why Microsoft always has all these great advancements with their Elite controller, but you don't see that stuff carry over to the regular because people don't want to spend all that money for replacement controllers or for the regular controller. So I think that regular controller has to be a little bit cheaper than that.
No, you do realize that Xbox One controllers go for $69.99, right?
No, you don't.
Yes, they do.
No, they hold on.
No, the special
do.
ones, like the special color ones.
All the colored ones go for
All the color ones, yeah.
$69.99.
Yeah,
Yeah, but
they
they're on
do.
sale, yeah.
The white and black, look, the white and black one go for 50 for 59. The straight one color.
Wow.
Yeah,
The
any
straight
of
one color
the
go for
the
64.
tech controllers were 69.
Yeah,
69
I got the see-through one.
Well,
Yeah.
you know what? It's weird because like I have all these special color controllers, but I guess I've always bought them on sale because I've never spent more than $50.
I mean, because even PlayStation 4 controllers, the only one that's 59 is the black one. All the other ones are $64.
Yep.
Ooh,
Yeah,
here's
I wait,
another 360 controller. I need it. Yeah, I got to stock up on 360 controllers, but I can. You know, they don't really make them no more. So you know,
Look,
when
man, that's
one
the
goes
only-
bad.
Yeah, well, that's the only reason I kid around with the system. I am sticking to that prediction because I really don't want to pay $600 for a system, but I've been screaming that number for the last year and a half, so I got to stick with my prediction. But
No
for
doubt.
but for that controller, I really truly believe that controller is going to be $80, and I think the reason Nintendo gave you a blueprint of saying if you want a controller, you'll pay $80 for it, and they give you Joy-Cons with old tech in it for $80. So I
Facts,
think
my
those
man.
joints rarely go on sale.
and those don't go on sale. You even used ones are $35.
There was one time I can think of for it, and I bought some of the green ones. They were on sale for like $10 off. I was like, "That's about as good as it's gonna get."
Good
Yep.
as it's gonna get.
Let me grab them right
Yeah.
now.
You can find the wireless. You can find a wireless gold PlayStation headset for cheaper than you can find the freaking DualShocks for sometimes. Just because DualShocks are just for some reason, I mean, they do drop to $39. I think they earlier this month they were $39.99 because of the play event that Sony always does this time of year. But
Yeah, I'm hearing DualShocks are sold out.
yeah, they were sold out. They were
Yeah.
like completely sold out when they were on sale. That's why I think no retailer had them because $39.99 to get a DualShock. They only quote me right, Jeremy, but they only do it like twice a year. They do it during the holiday and they do it around E3 when they do those.
Those are the only times that we usually drop the prices on that. Yeah.
Yeah, because I usually always cop like a new Xbox controller and a PlayStation controller on Black Friday.
Right,
Yeah.
right. And that's why I thought the prices were so much cheaper because I just like I always only get them on like Black Friday or some sale, and there's always like $40 for like a really nice.
Or do you?
Like, yeah, like I got like a see-through controller that's like part see-through, part white. Xbox controller. I only
That's
paid
what I got.
40. Yeah, I paid like $40 or something like that for that last Black Friday. When I
yep.
saw it, I was like, man, that looks. Say what?
Glass of milk controller.
Yeah, that's what I got.
That's what it is.
Yeah. Matches my my gaming rig, my baby right here that I love.
Now, to be fair, now if you buy it from certain retailers, you may have found it at a cheaper price too than normal.
Mhm.
So yeah, not mention any names of any other particular retailers that normally have it at a lot
Wink,
cheaper
wink.
price point. But
I know which retailer you're talking about, by the way, because that one retailer is next to my local GameStop. So
right, exactly.
Yeah. Real quick though, I go ahead, Chronos.
I was just going to ask if PlayStation said, on launch we'll have Spider-Man, Ratchet and Clank, Horizon Zero Dawn. Now this is just wishful thinking. Do you think people would be willing to pay for that $600?
Yes.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
I mean,
All right.
yeah, I think so. Look, I'm going to pay $600 anyway because that's what I do.
Yeah, because he wants the system day one. So
Yeah, exactly. I mean, it's just but the other thing I thought was cool recently too, and I don't know how much you know about this, Kronos, but the Sony talked about the PlayStation 5 being one of the most like customizable consoles.
Yeah, I saw that
ever made, but we don't know exactly what that means.
No,
the first thing that immediately came to mind was remember the Xbox 360 used to change out the plates.
Yeah.
That's what I thought. Like maybe it's something like that. I don't know. I mean,
well, I mean, hell, the day one PlayStation fat model, you can change you can buy faceplates. A lot of people forgot that.
That's true. Yeah,
I still have a few faceplates for my fat model that's sitting somewhere. But I think they mean more about the canvas that'll allow us to use to do some creativity. And I was talking to Forte about this before we hopped on, but I hope that the designers of the systems finally throw open the floodgates and just really come up with some creative designs, stuff that we've been seeing, these fan renders. I want our home office to say, well, let's go crazy. Like there were some Spider-Man fan renders that that I'm just like, oh my God, even something as simple as just changing the lights was just like, I need that, So I think that may be more what they're talking about in terms of just a canvas for them to work with. But who knows? Shit. It's really hard to say. Yeah. And considering how big the damn thing is, it's a big ass canvas. So.
Yeah, no, it definitely is. I gotta get some super chat, guys. JD Gamer with the $2 super chat says, "What are the chances that Microsoft releases 3 SKUs?" I don't think that's gonna happen. And then I think JD Gamer had another super chat. Oh shit, I gotta find it now. JD Gamer with the $5 super chat says, "Why doesn't GameStop just buy a few developers and sell their games with exclusive content or exclusive games only available in store?" Did they? I thought they actually tried something like that with publishing, right? Yeah, they did publish one of Insomniac's games, right?
Yeah, it was the
Song of the Deep.
Song of the Deep, yeah.
Song of the Deep. Yeah, see, yeah.
And then there was another one, wasn't there? From
I thought they published 4 games, or at least
it was Song of the Deep, and then there was the one. Damn, it's like right there.
I can't remember. Wasn't it? Starts with a D.
Deformers.
Yeah.
That's the Ready at Dawn game.
Yeah. People were like, we can't get another. It's like, man,
that's hilarious. Oh my! So, yeah, I those customized PS4s or PS5s were to your point, Jeremy, like the Spider-Man ones looked like fire. I think there's a lot of. I think both Microsoft and Sony have a good opportunity here to really do some really cool things with both the consoles in terms of custom designs, but we'll see.
One bad mother said the PS5 looks like fat guy in a little coat.
He actually does. Oh my God! But man,
But speaking of which, before we move on, because I don't know if we're moving from PlayStation 5, the look of the system when it comes to the disk drive versus not having a disk drive, a lot of people are under the assumption that the disk drive was a afterthought, that was just added to the side, but the smaller profile was the actual system that they wanted to make, and they just happened to throw a disk drive because they said people still buy physical copies. What do you guys think about that?
I don't. Go ahead, Chrono. Go ahead.
I was gonna say from a business perspective, I mean, as much as digital sales have become a big important part in terms of our profit, there's still too many people that prefer physical. We were never going to not have a disk drive in it, and I think that just in terms of design, I think there's just no other way of doing it, and I think that's the reason why it looks the way it does, because there's just no other physical way of doing it. So
yeah, I think that maybe. Well, I think what Chrono is saying may be more apparent once some of these like tech people get their hands on the actual unit, are able to take it apart and see what the motherboard looks like, see how the actual console was designed, and then you could probably see, oh well, you know what? Yeah, they really gonna put the optical drive anywhere else but where they put it, considering how they have it designed for cooling and whatnot, or whether there's a vapor chamber in there, whatever, because whatever they're doing to actually try to make it cooler, they had to put it where they put it. So I think, as Chrono said, they always had an optical drive in mind. That was never not a consideration for them.
Okay.
Yeah. You know what's funny? I'm actually reading the live chat. There's people actually arguing or debating Bugsnax versus Grounded.
for is it the toilet bowl or something?
Yeah.
Like, is this like
what are y'all debating?
Is this Cleveland Browns against the Cincinnati Bengals? Is this like who's the worst team? Which is the worst game to play?
Yo, it's actually funny, man. I'm like, yo, you guys are really arguing about Bugsnax versus versus Grounded. By the way, has anyone tried the Grounded beta yet?
No, I
No.
downloaded no.
No.
Okay. No one sounds too excited about that. I mean,
Yeah, I'm not playing it.
yeah, I'm not. So I read just Cordy compare it to Ark, and I'm like, I'm not interested. I played Ark, it just wasn't my thing.
I saw people sharing their Eurogamer that they said, "Oh, this is nice," and they're like, "Oh, see, I told you it's fire."
Oh my god, people got. And then when Eurogamer reviews a game and give it like a 6, they'll be like, Eurogame's biased.
Yeah,
Right. That's how they normally do. They're like, you know, they do a little feature on it. All they talk about is like the positives. Like, you know, the main menu is very cute. I like the main menu.
The music puts you in a trance. It's quite relaxing and soothing.
I think the style of the italics is very, very interesting. I like that.
Italic.
Yeah. I mean, then the game comes out and it's a 5.5 out of 10. You know, it's what it is.
Yeah. All right, I thought somebody
eat a strawberry and my hand turned into a strawberry. Like, what is that? What drug were you on when you came up with this idea? Was it? I mean, was it crystal
Chrono? Chrono, we are not interested in Bugsnax here.
Opium fever dream, bro.
I couldn't tell.
Yeah, like I saw. Look, if that's your bag, look, that's cool. But for me, that's not for me. Like Bugsnax, like
That's
not
your bag.
That's not. Nope, not me.
I will say,
Somebody's gonna want Bugsnax. It's like somebody's gonna want Grounded, you know. But
Yeah, exactly.
I just find it a little interesting that the people, I'm like, you know, you don't want no damn Grounded. Stop that capping, man.
Exactly.
Watch.
Goodbye Volcano High. What 13 reasons why I'm a furry. I don't know what that is. Like, it's just like, what is happening here?
There's some controversy around that one.
What's the controversy?
With the guy who wrote the game, I guess.
What happened?
Got in some trouble on 4chan for writing like, I don't want to say kitty porn, I guess, or something to that effect.
Oh my!
Probably kitty porn.
Some story like that. I don't know all the details, but this is kind of what I glanced at. I'm like, okay. Was Sony aware of that? I don't know.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
I'm gonna say no. If they allowed that game on the showcase, they had no idea.
If somebody in the chat knows more about it, they can.
Watch, you guys laugh. You guys laugh now, but next thing you know, Digital Foundry is going to do a teardown, and you'll find out that Bugsnax is the most technologically advanced PS5 game out there. Yeah, just wait.
Like Richard Lambert, 4K, native 4K. Truly remarkable.
The hot dog hands have the most fascinating lighting that we've ever seen.
Exactly.
Hot dog hands. The ray tracing on the hot dog hands is superbly done.
You can see the trans fat just coming off of the hot dog.
The trans fat. It's actually quite astonishing. It runs at 200 frames per second.
Better looking like that.
Bugsnax is rumored to have vegan DLC coming.
Oh man.
Yo, hey, yeah, Bugsnax is just that's not not feeling
we
it.
wanted. I know they wanted to just showcase different options, different variety for different gamers. That's all it was.
Look, Jim Ryan, that's not an option that I want. I'll just say that. That's not.
No, man. That said that Bugsnax has no loading screens according to Jim Ryan. Well, I mean, I would
hope so.
Man, that's also going to have 0 loading screens on my PS5 because I'm not going to play it.
Ryan said Bugsnax runs at 4K, 380 calories. Oh man,
that's the food at the barbecue nobody touches, man.
You know,
right? That's why they made a game out of it.
It's just there.
Hey, B, what if
the
game starts off the setting of a barbecue and it's the food that no one touches and they get up and they're like, how come no one eats us? And that's the background of the story, their emotional journey because they feel left out.
Oh man, that'd be insane.
They should hire you, Enrique. They should hire you. That's
They gotta have that soul food DLC where you got like chitlin chest.
He said,
All right, Bugsnax, man, that's gonna be the game of the year. They put the Soul Food DLC down, man. Let's go.
oh man, I'm in tears. Yeah, you know the Xbox guys in the chat are loving it right now, but as soon as we start talking about ground, they're like, "Oh, see, y'all hate Xbox." We are equal opportunity. How would you say it, Slimo?
Slanderers.
Yeah. We equal opportunity slander anything that looks bad. It doesn't matter what it's on. If it's on the PS5, Stadia, if Stadia ever gets games, anything, it doesn't matter. So
I love the comment Ryan put on the chat. The PS4 game Bugsnax looks like an Xbox game that's supposed to be on the Switch. So.
Yeah. Okay. All right, real quick, guys. I want to go to the next topic before we get to Microsoft's big July event. WB Games. So AT&T is actually looking to sell WB Games for in a possible $4 billion deal. Now, look,
That's still wild to me, man. It's like Mortal Kombat is in there, guys.
Yeah, like Mortal Kombat, Mordor.
Yeah, man.
Harry Potter, The Witcher. The Witcher's where they published The Witcher 3.
But see, that's different
in the US. They did.
Though, because you don't get the IPs, you just get the studios, which it makes it slightly, significantly less appealing. I'm not saying those studios aren't good; they are quality studios, but the IPs that they're known for, if you don't get those, you're going to get some great talent, but now you're going to have to build them up or have them build out their own IP or have them do an older IP that you already own. It's just not the same. People associate Rocksteady with Batman Arkham. You don't have them doing Batman Arkham. It's like, all right, so let's what can we do? What do you want to do? It's like you know what? How about them IPs, bro? Can I get a contract or something? Let's do a deal, 3 games each, right? And that kind of, I think that would be great if Microsoft were to do that, bring them in, and then do a deal with AT&T/WB, where it's like, okay, we get the license for 3 games, and then within that period of 3 games, you could be kind of working with these studios to develop your own IP, so that by the time that contract is up, if you can't renew, then at least you got something from that studio that can be built upon. But I don't know.
Yeah, well, this seems to be a byproduct of the impact of the pandemic to AT&T. They're looking to reduce about $165 billion in debt, and that's why they're looking to sell WB Games. And the one thing that I kind of looked side-eyed at was potential buyers for WB Games, Activision Blizzard, and Electronic Arts. Apparently, they're interested in WB Games. Now, Phil Spencer, please save WB. Don't let him go to EA or Take-Two or Activision. Just don't. Well, Take-Two, I probably wouldn't mind.
What EA
but not Activision. EA. EA's gonna be. They're gonna make some. I don't know. Games as a service game. They're gonna nuke the Batman franchise.
But they're not going to get that. But if they got the studio, what we've seen with EA in the past is they've gotten a bunch of studios in particular deals like this, and they've just downsized the ones they didn't really care for and just kept the ones they wanted, creating a lot of job loss, and then also kind of creating situations where it's bad management on their side of things, and then other studios was it Pandemic? What's the name of the studio that did Dead Space?
I don't remember, man.
I can't remember their name.
I don't remember their name.
But they don't exist anymore. Is the problem? Is that they weren't a good fit for EA.
Visceral Games.
Visceral Games. Thank you.
Yeah,
they weren't a good fit for EA, and they ended up getting downsized. And
that was Amy Hennig, who was part of Visceral for a little bit, right? Wasn't she there?
Yeah, but Visceral could have made the same Star Wars game that came out last year or whatever year it was.
Exactly. 1313? Was that the one they were working on? Yeah. They just slashed that, canceled that for whatever reason. What's the difference between that, a single player, story driven game, and Fallen Order? It's just so ridiculous how they manage things, but I just don't want like these studios having to be anywhere near those situations. I'd be happy with Sony or Microsoft purchasing them, because at least with them two at where they're at right now as publishers is that they just allow the studios to do what they want to do, and they're not just slashing them, and downsizing them for really unrealistic expectations as EA and Activision tend to do. So yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, real quick, I get the super chat from JD Gamer, the $5 super chat. Thank you, JD. He says the only way AT&T is getting $4 billion for WB Studios is if it includes a 10-year license deal for all IP they touch plus additional characters.
Yeah, and I think that's the only way they're gonna make the sale anyway. Is the negotiation is gonna have to be about the licensing.
Yep,
that's the only way anybody's gonna touch that deal.
Right.
If we ain't getting Mortal Kombat, we don't want it.
Right. And that's another thing. So $4 billion, and then if you're you have to be like a third-party publisher to really want to take that on, especially with Mortal Kombat, because Mortal Kombat, the amount its value comes from it being a multi-plat.
Right.
So if you get it, you're going to have to be like how Microsoft was when they got Minecraft, where they just kept it multi-plat, because you spend a ton of money and you're not your return on investment, your ROI isn't going to be as high if you just make it exclusive to just Xbox platforms. So if you purchase them, like that's another reason why maybe Microsoft might be looking at this like this might not be our bag, this might not be our deal, because Microsoft, I don't think they have a problem keeping Mortal Kombat multi-plat, but I think Sony would have an issue with that, and that's why they definitely would shy away from actually making a deal like this. But that's a kind of a touchy situation, because it's not like these other acquisitions where you're acquiring the studio. We've yet to see any like acquisitions like this where it's already owned by something else, and then it's kind of like a lateral transition to another publisher. We've seen a lot of independent developers get purchased, but not, and then of course the IP that they own becomes a part of that company that purchased it. But this is a bit different and definitely a lot more difficult because of the handling of the IP and how that works. It's not an easy situation to get through.
Yeah, that's a great point, man. I mean, like you would be said, like if those franchises, those characters have to be part of the deal, or else like it doesn't work. And I would imagine EA and Activision would probably demand that. I would imagine, especially if they're paying billions of dollars, right? But yeah, I was surprised to see this.
Isn't
whoever
Lord of the Rings and stuff part of that too?
Yeah. 4K Lord of the Rings.
Oh yeah. There's no way that even functions. It's like you're buying studios with nothing for them to make that they normally make.
Yeah, because all their stuff is licensed product, basically.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, you saw how EA and Activision does. They get these really great development companies, and then if they don't give them a project to work on, they'll use them as a secondary team on something else. I mean, you see that so much with how they handle Battlefield and Call of Duty. How many studios actually help out with those games that are, hey, Neversoft disappeared completely. They got swallowed up because of all of that stuff.
Well, that's the one thing I miss about that relationship that Bungie had with Activision, because Vicarious Visions and High Moon made so much content for them. It was like, even knowing they weren't making their own things, they were valuable to another company, and that's where they saw their worth at. And it's like, I definitely can see that being the thing. But when Microsoft, especially in Microsoft's case, where they already spent so much money and have 15 development houses as it is already, it has to be more to it than just getting studios.
Yeah, no, that's a great point, Forte. And JD Game with the $5 super chat says NetherRealm Studios could also develop Killer Instinct and crossover titles to really broaden Microsoft's fighting game offerings, and it would need to be 10 to 20 years. Thank you for the super chat, JD Gamer. Appreciate it. It's a great point, man.
Yeah, they could literally be the de facto Killer Instinct team and then build their own fighting game.
Yeah, they really could.
And everything is under NetherRealm.
Yep.
See, here's the interesting, I guess the difficult part about that is that I'm not into fighting games, so I don't really know for certain. I don't really care for them like that. But from what I've heard from other people who like fighting games, is that Killer Instinct, the last one, really wasn't bad.
No,
Wasn't a bad game.
Iron Studios did a really good job making that game.
But for some reason, it didn't have a sustainable community of people playing the game, and what happens when no one's playing the game happens is that it gets like development and interest in it drops from Microsoft. So I don't even know if that's really going to work with. I mean, because part of the appeal to Mortal Kombat for NetherRealm is the fact that it's Mortal Kombat. Those characters are well known for generations. I mean, like from back when we were kids. And then you got their crossovers with DC, which are also other well-known characters with Batman, Superman, blah, blah, blah. Y'all can go forward. Those Mortal Kombat characters don't carry the same weight. So I don't know, man. It's this whole thing. Like we've said before, and how people have said in the chat, this whole thing doesn't work if you don't get IP. So if you don't get the use of the IP, it's the studios, while talented, I mean, they're talented studios all over the place. So,
it
doesn't really work.
And Slow-Mo, what's going to happen? Like if EA picks them up, they're just going to force them to work on that booty ass engine Frostbite, right?
Exactly, right. And who don't wants that? I mean, we need to have a petition out here to stop EA from doing that to them. I mean, like, if anything, no one deserves to have to work in those kind of conditions. Like, no one needs
y'all better fall back off Frostbite, man, because they announced Battlefield 6 tomorrow. Man, we gonna have a party.
Oh, another great trailer and so-far gameplay.
And then the game launches with mad bugs. I'll pass.
As long as Battlefield 6 has modern military tactics and stuff, and not this World War II and 3 and 4 stuff, I'm good.
They pretty much confirmed modern day, man.
That's all I need.
I'm getting excited.
Yeah, I don't know, B. Is it going to be a buggy mess at launch? That's what I want to know.
Look, man.
Nope, because it's only releasing on next gen.
Yep.
In this Battlefield trailer, they're gonna have a guy in a wheelchair, spinning around and shooting people with like robot arms or something. I don't know, man. I'm messing
around. Battlefield, sir.
I'm just talking about how like that last trailer, everyone was so upset over the girl with the robot arms.
Oh yeah, that was ridiculous. Yeah,
but I'm just like, look, this. I'm not a Battlefield fan.
I'm not gonna lie.
They should have just said that they weren't trying to stick to traditional times, and just said it was their own imagination of World War II. It would have been fine. You know what I mean? Like they wanted to say that it was basically a reimagination of World War II times. So stuff like that should have been in there. But if they could have just said like this is their own version, it would have been fine. The trailer wasn't that bad to me. I thought the trailer looked fine. The gameplay, once Battlefield 5 released, pretty good game. It didn't live up to the hype because we were shooting with old guns.
Yep, that's my whole problem with it.
Yeah, people want modern. I feel like people want modern day shooters mostly now. It's just look. I'm not gonna lie. If they show a good trailer, I might be hyped, but I don't know, man. We'll see. I'm actually more hyped to see if they show us Mass Effect remaster tomorrow. So
day one buy.
Yeah, right. Day one, exactly. That's the GOAT right there.
It better be a remake like that Mafia joint.
No, better not be like Mafia.
No, the first Mafia game.
The only remake I want to hear from them tomorrow is about the Mass Effect trilogy. That's the only remake I want to hear. Let's do it. Let's get it.
What time is that show tomorrow, by the way?
5 p.m.
5 p.m. Eastern Standard Time?
Yeah.
All right.
Oh, I can't watch it. Sorry.
Ooh, sorry.
Yeah. Thank you, Forte.
The first 20-30 minutes is going to be Madden and FIFA.
Oh yeah,
right.
I got so Madden.
We're excited to announce this year's Madden.
We got to see,
and we'll feature the new cleat system.
We got to see
where your cleat react to the turf.
Bringing back quarterback vision.
Vision.
The hated cone. Oh my god, yo,
that was the worst.
Please bring back the cone so I can see the rage on Twitter. I need to see that. I need to see that now.
No, they're gonna call
it. Go ahead.
I'm telling you, they're gonna call it some kind of gimmick, right? That's why I said, like, what did I say? Cleat? I forget what I said. The
cleat mode or something.
Cleat mode, where you can feel the turf. You know, they're probably gonna have something like all new Gatorade mode, where the more Gatorade you drink, the faster your player recovers. Something stupid like that. I always feel like you come out with gimmicks.
Guarantee to have at least one game that is an old IP that people have been begging them to bring back, and they'll bring it back, but it'll be a mobile game.
Everyone can be angry. That Jam mobile watch.
Right.
Yeah, that's too funny. Some of the live chats that Sony showed August, we buy Warner Brothers. I don't think Sony's going to buy them.
You know what? EA could come out tomorrow and be like, here's the new Madden. We didn't do shit to it. You ain't gonna say shit about it. So there's nobody else to challenge it. Enjoy Madden.
And we're gonna charge you $60.
I mean, that's pretty much what they do every year. E.
Right.
You know they're gonna buy it.
Y'all
here's your roster update for $60.
Because where you gonna go? It's like Ike and Tina. Where you going?
You better eat that cake, anime.
Yeah, where you gonna go?
Yeah.
It's like,
but imagine that
every gets like Mr. and Sealy. Don't nobody want you.
Oh my god.
Yeah. But just imagine that next generation sweat physics, man. Just imagine it.
Yeah, I remember that with 2K, man. They were showing the sweat on Shaq.
Oh yeah, I remember that. Yeah.
Sweat.
They did the same thing last week.
Yeah, they did.
Yeah.
Look at the ray tracing on the sweat.
Y'all not ready to watch me dunk and break the rim and show nothing.
Yeah.
Hey, man,
Look at damn well the game ain't gonna look like that.
Every year, man.
Look at the lighting. You know, yeah, they're gonna release VC with ray tracing.
Wow.
JD gave her the $10 super chat. Thank you, JD. He says, panel question: what, if any, last minute spec bumps do you expect or would like to see in the Xbox Series X, PlayStation 5, and the Lockhart CPU, GPU, SSD, IO, memory, or physical design?
At this point, the only thing they could really adjust would be like the amount of RAM you have. They maybe storage space, but in terms of, say, like the PlayStation 5 SSD, it's not like going from like 1 to 2 terabyte. I think it was like 825. I think is the amount of gigs you have.
Yep.
It'll go up to like 1.6 or something like that, but nothing of the specs of like I don't think, but potentially maybe clock speed, but I really don't feel Sony's in a position to do anything with clock speed, and I don't think Microsoft needs to. So I don't expect any changes like that, but definitely RAM. If anything changes, that's something that would be a easy change that would not. It's not like you gotta redesign a lot of stuff for it. So
yeah, I think that's what Sony did, kind of the 11th hour with the PlayStation 4, if I'm not mistaken, right?
I think so.
With the RAM.
Yeah, they added
They added like another 2. Yeah, some of that.
Yeah,
It's hard to believe that was a long time ago now. So.
I know, right? 7 years. That's crazy, right? The time flew by, and who'd have thought that the beginning of this console generation, that towards the end would be in the middle of a pandemic. Just interesting times, but I do want to get to the next topic, gentlemen, regarding next month's July.
Another super chat from JD.
Yep. Oh yeah, JD gave me the $2 super chat. Says, "Thank you, JD. Who misses E3 and thinks it will be better next year? I miss E3. I don't know if will it be a thing next year. Maybe that's the better question.
You know,
Panel, what do you guys think?
I kind of missed the concise scheduling of it. Like,
yes.
That's what I was going to say.
But I don't know when anything's on.
Yeah. It's really because everyone's doing their own thing, and it's really hard to sift through all the noise and see what's what and when. And it's not like all together. So it's like it's not like.
You got IGN doing one thing, you've got Jeff Keighley doing another, and somehow we're supposed to get all of this information.
Right, and it's not all in 1 week. It's like all over the month. And then now it seems like all over like a month, the course of a month and a half. And so
it sounded like a good idea initially. It's like, oh, that's cool. And we got it. Now I'm like, oh, I don't know.
But this is why I still think E3's dead. I don't think E3's coming back, and it's not because there isn't a need for it. It's because the ESA sucks. Right. But I think what will end up happening, kind of like how when you have everyone, there's a new wave of things, or there's a vacuum, and there's needs to be a gap that's filled. A lot of challengers come to take that spot, and a lot of them, the majority of them, fall to the wayside. And there's one thing that will stand the test of time. I think we're seeing a lot of different streams, but next year there'll be less of them because more of them are going to say, you know what, it didn't really work out for us in 2020. Let's just team up with Jeff Keighley. Let's just team up with IGN or whoever else who's running it and ran it better the previous year. And then as the years go on, there'll be less of them, and to the point where we'll have our own new E3, but it's just going to be called something different, ran by someone else, hopefully who knows what the hell they're doing, and it just won't be as convoluted and confusing as it is right now.
Yeah, I think like Jeff kind of had this idea, but I think he had to kind of put it together more at the last minute, and I think next year it'll probably be more streamlined, where he has more communications with all the publishers and stuff, and it's more of a week, like a Game Fest week or whatever, in June. And we'll probably still see stuff from like IGN and like GameSpot and stuff like that, but I think they'll capture more of like the indie stuff like they've been doing. But I think a lot of the big stuff, Jeff is going to try to make that his own thing in like more of a condensed fashion.
Yeah, and he's well tuned for it because he's already been kind of doing that with the VGA. So he's got the connections, he's got the know-how and the experience. It's going to be really a real easy transition for him to do that in the summer, I think. I'm sorry, Chrono, go ahead.
I was going to say, I think it'll be very interesting to see. I think the show to watch is going to be PAX. They just announced this, I think yesterday or today, they are going digital with PAX West, I think is the show that they just recently canceled the physical form of it. And they are going to try and come up with a schedule for the week where, as a virtual convention, that'll be free, and hopefully maybe that'll be a show to watch out for, at least in this current space that we're in right now, to see if it's something that could be replicated on a larger scale.
Yeah. iDizzy81 with the $2 super chat. Thank you. iDizzy says fake E3 sucks, but we got a schedule over at LogNet. Go check out the our good friends. What's it?
I said lordsofgaming.net.
Yeah, Lords of Gaming. Yep. Yeah, I was going to say that. Lordsofgaming.net. Thank you for the super chat, iDizzy. And we have another super chat from JD Gamer. $5 says, in the last minute, Sony added 4 gigabytes of RAM and MS overclocked CPU, GPU, E3 forever. No to Jeff Keighley.
Yeah, isn't Jeff doing something for Gamescom, right?
I'm not sure, sir.
Yeah, I think he did say that they were doing a summer games thing for Gamescom. So I guess we'll kind of see like how that kind of shapes all together. And if he has big publishers there, maybe that'll give us an idea of what we could potentially see next year.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. Dizzy just sent me their the lordsofgaming.net's digital event tracker, which is a really great idea for a website to have. And we saw the whole stupid Pokemon Presents that was there. I'm sorry, I hate Pokemon. So
thank you, iDizzy.
If I offended any Pokemon fans out there, I kind of don't really apologize, but okay. EA Play is tomorrow. Day of the Devs is what day? This 22nd, which is Monday.
Yeah.
New Game Plus on the 23rd, which is 14 Japanese publishers teaming up to show. Wow. This is there's stuff here that I didn't even know was happening.
Yeah. They've done a good job. Lordsofgaming.net's done a really good job of consolidating that for everyone. So definitely go check them out. I got another super chat. JD giving another $5 super chat says, no to Jeff Keighley, down with his idea of elitism and consolidation of power. Keep E3 open for everyone. All right.
I guess that's news to me. He has I don't know what's going on with it. He didn't want it open. I guess
no. He wants. He wants to keep E3 open to everyone. You know, he thinks JD feels that Keighley causes a level of elitism within the community. So
yeah, because of like him not agreeing with how they wanted to present E3 this year or how they wanted to do it. So
well, I mean,
that's not exclusive to Jeff Keighley. I'll tell you, a lot of like industry people, writers, and everything, they don't like the fact that it's that open.
Yeah, they don't.
They also didn't like the direction that the ESA was taking E3.
Right.
And that was a lot of publishers as well as developers felt that way. But
because they felt it made their job harder to try to cover everything when they had to stumble over like so many people that are just on the show floor. So
if the ESA was worth anything, that would have been an easy fix. It's about scheduling. You have E3 not open to the public every day for certain times. Open it up later, but allow the press to have a certain time before that so that they can do what they need to do. And then you open it up to the public. So the press can kind of schedule, all right, I know the places, the spots I need to hit or who I need to speak to when there's not open to everyone here at this moment. Don't do that later. I can schedule myself to do that earlier. You know what I mean? So it's just like, so there's ways to get around this. Everyone does it. And somehow it's only E3 that had these issues. Like you didn't hear about this from like Gamescom and all the other Tokyo Game Show and all these other events that do this on an annual basis and didn't have all these problems. How was it just the ESA couldn't figure it out?
Yeah.
And they're open to the public. Gamescom is open to way more people than E3. Like 5 times as many people go to that. So what's the problem? What's the real problem here?
Yeah. All right, gentlemen, got to get to the last topic of the evening. Xbox July event will be a night of mic drops. All right, so this is a rumor that's been going around. Now, I have heard from some individuals who apparently know people at Microsoft that there's going to be a shit ton of games. They're going to be bringing a lot of stuff. They're going to be showing some big first party games. Obviously Halo's going to be there, but there's going to be some other ones. There's actually a guy who I don't know if he's an insider or if he's someone that's I guess he's considered an insider. I think his name is it Eastman? I think. I don't know if I'm getting that correctly, but anyhow, he's going on saying that the Microsoft is going to have a mic drop event for July. That they really want this to be a moment that the industry remembers. So this is interesting. One of the things he's saying that last he heard is that the Xbox Series or that the Xbox Series S will be half the price of the Xbox Series X. He's saying that the X will launch at he thinks that he said he heard that Microsoft was prepared to launch the Xbox Series X at $400. He says that he thinks if Sony is $500 to $600, Microsoft may try to go in at $200, $400, $500, but he says we'll see. He also says that Microsoft will make up any losses they take by getting a higher cut of game sales, more subscriptions, which it can do off things like Game Pass. Pricing also depends again on what Sony does. So all of this is interesting in terms of pricing. He's also saying that, as I mentioned earlier, he wants this July. They want this July event to be about the industry. They want it to be about a night of mic drops. They're going to come in hard with a strategy they've been building up for years. They want Google, Amazon, Apple, Sony, yes, Nintendo to be shaken up. So expect a series of mic drop moments followed by the price being the key part of all of this. He also says he thinks that Lockhart is a key device in their strategy. It's low-cost gateway that can control to make sure the hardware can handle the new compression techniques they will employ with the xCloud over the next few years. The plan for Lockhart is to get into price categories they were never able to hit before, and he says he believes, based on listening between the lines, they expect Lockhart to at some point make it down to a Fire TV size, Amazon Fire Sticks. Also, the size for the first Lockhart will surprise everyone. All right. So that's a lot there. What do you guys think? And let's go. I'm going to go with our guest this evening, Chrono first. Chrono, what do you think, man?
I hope that they do mic drops. I mean, every year for after E3, there's always a disappointment. They keep saying, watch E3, watch E3. And then we don't get those mic drop moments. I hope that we get these mic drop moments. As a gamer, as a fan, that is what I want to see. I'm curious, what exactly their strategies are. I think that they took the lessons to heart from what they saw with our presentation in terms of how to highlight and showcase their games. I hope so. The whole Zoom meeting talking heads thing is something that they definitely do not want to repeat. And they need to come out with bangers. Now, my question is though, aside from the obvious three, Halo, Gears, and Forza, what other franchises does Microsoft have that, there's Fable, Killer Instinct. What more can they bring out that'll surprise the hell out of us? And that's what I want. I want to see. I want them to shock and awe me. That's what I really want. And I'm hoping that it won't be we watch it and then I'll be like, don't worry, just wait till E3 or and we have to wait another year.
So later this year or something like that.
Yeah, something like that. That's not something that I don't want, and yet that's how it's been for the last 3 years. So,
I think we all feel like that here on the panel. In terms of games, I get it. We want to see more than Halo, Gears, Forza. Although I heard Forza, it looks incredible. But I do think we'll see Fable. I do think we'll see Perfect Dark. I think that's what the initiative is working on. There could be some big surprises there as well. That's what I would expect. But I want to go to the rest of the panel here. Eric, man, what are your thoughts on this, man? Are you kind of share the same sentiment of Chrono here that you hope that it doesn't, it's not a situation where it's like, okay, we got to wait till the next event.
I'm telling you now, man, if at the end of which I don't think is going to be the case, but if it ends and it's sort of like, and everyone's got the whole energy, like for real, not the people trolling, but it's like, yeah, we're going to wait till the next thing. Man, that's going to be rough, real rough. But I'm gonna say this. I want to just clarify who said the mic drop thing. Was that specifically from Microsoft, or there was rumored that this was said?
No, this is
the person who
this insider.
Insider, right?
Yeah.
So, because I look at it like this, and you guys might laugh at me, but if we get close to the event, whenever they announce it, and we don't hear the usual tweet from Phil that says this is the biggest whatever that we've ever done, and Aaron doesn't come out like 5 minutes before talking his shit, it's probably going to be a really good show. I'm going on that, because anytime they get right up to the show and then they come out with those tweets, it always ends up being like, wait till the next.
This is very true. That's very true.
So if they come out and just be quiet and let the show do the talking, we might be on to something. But if they come out with their hyperbole, and because Aaron's been real vocal lately, and although he likes to jump out there and say some things, I'm just like, Aaron, just stop, just be quiet, dude. But yeah, if they're quiet, we might be there. If they come out with all the usual, got to get everybody hype and get the
biggest show
going,
ever,
then I'm gonna be a little suspect on them. But if they don't, again, I think the show is gonna be good. I think they are gonna show some things. I don't know about the whole mic drop point. Hopefully it will be. I just want to walk away for once being like, yo, they did the damn thing. I don't want to hear set expectations and all, because we shouldn't have to set expectations when we're about to be asked to drop another 500 or plus or whatever for another console. No expectations need to be set. The expectation needs to be blow it up.
Yeah. Yeah. I agree, man. I agree. B, what are your thoughts, man?
Man, I hope it's some mic drops, I've been in the crowd when there were some mic drop moments. The whole BC thing when they first revealed the, Xbox One X. So hopefully we do have some mic drop moments like that, but I'm not gonna get my hype up. I'm not gonna get my hopes up. You know what I mean? Like,
You setting expectations?
I'm setting expectations, man. Like they've only been spoon feeding me the same stuff over the last 3 years. You know what I mean? We get all hyped up before the show. They say this is our biggest show ever. We're gonna show 200 games on the stage, and it's like, okay,
Xbox history.
yeah, it's like, okay, I don't need you to say all that. Just come to the show, show me what you got, and if it's great, cool. And if it's not, it is what it is. Like, I don't need all the extra hype. You know what I mean? Just let the games do the talking.
Hey, what B is saying is the girl on the other line. He tired of her saying she looked like Janet Jackson.
Don't ever come around here anymore.
You got to say all that. Just show up and look like Janet Jackson.
Right.
Exactly.
Yeah. No, they gotta come. Look, I know we're gonna see Halo. That's great. Whatever. Like, I'm not really. I can't even say I'm excited to see it. It's just like, okay, like I know it's coming. I want to say.
I mean,
look,
the better question should be, what would be the mic drop moment? You know what I mean?
Look, for me, it would be a new IP, right?
Yeah,
Something
new IP.
big AAA banger IP, maybe from one of the new studios. Although again, I'm hearing the initiative's working on Perfect Dark, and Perfect Dark would be like I would be cool with that. Like, they're great, right? Like that's a cool franchise, right? But for me,
you want Perfect Dark or Perfect Dark Zero is the problem.
Yeah, right.
Don't nobody want that, Jeremy.
Yeah, but that's the thing. Like, it would have to be like I want to see something new from them, like a new.
That's what I've been saying. Yeah,
a new give us something new, AAA, that's designed specifically for the Series X, that just wows us, right? That's all. That's like, to me, that would be like, wow, okay, and maybe that's an unfair expectation. The other thing too is, look, man, I don't expect them. Realistically, I don't expect them to be on the same level in terms of quality as Sony's first party, because Sony's first party has been doing this for a very long time. Microsoft they're in a much better position. No one would argue the fact that they're in a much better position than they were coming in this generation. They've invested in first party, which is great. They should have done that. They did that. They brought some talented studios on, but that's going to take time to start to crank out some really good quality content at the level that Sony's cranking out, right? And look, you may not like Sony's games, that's fine, but at least respect the quality of the games that they have, right? There's quality games out there that I don't like, but I respect the game. Like, I'm like, yeah, that's not my thing, but I respect the fact that there's a consensus out there that it's a high quality product, right? And maybe that's unfair for Enrique to think, you know what, it needs to be at a Sony level, but I kind of want that. I want to be like, yeah, like that mic drop,
Yeah,
I don't think that's unreasonable at all.
So
you expect them
to
meet the quality of their competition. I mean, that should be what their goal is, and they should want their community to want them to reach that goal.
right. And Slim, I want to hear more about what you have to say. I'll say this one thing. Like, I know, like, we're goofing on Bugsnax and this and that. That's fine. Yeah, we just should definitely goof on those things. But I know people get like upset when you mention grounded. The difference is, and we've said this before on the show, and I'm sure we'll probably get this back in the comments. If you have something that has wowed people and floored people, you can drop a grounded, and people are like, "Oh, that's fine." You're answering the call or whatever else. But when that's all you're kind of dropping, you haven't really dropped anything, and people kind of go back to Gears 5. But we've seen that before. I think the reason people kind of go Bugsnax, haha, and then they're not really worried because they've seen what the potential is.
Right.
And that's not fanboying. That's not saying whatever. It's like, can that end up falling apart? Yeah, anything can fall apart. But the fact of the matter is, it's like being like a made man in the mafia. You've proven that you put the work in and that you don't mind getting busy. So it's just there's a certain path that will come with that. And the thing is, Microsoft can be capable of getting that, but let's be honest, this generation, they have not done that. So that's why they're under the microscope a lot more. That's why people are much more critical of every little move that they make. It's just how it is.
Yeah. I agree with E. This is to speak to this leak. There are multiple things in that post that this insider, this reported insider says that just kind of had me scratching my head. Like, a night of mic drops, you know, like that. What I hate that kind of like to speak to what B was saying. I hate that kind of talk because it's just like it sets an expectation that, oh, okay, so you're just going to be hitting this with banger after banger after banger. When you don't do that, then now you have unfairly made your studios not meet expectations. You know what I mean? And so then there's this other part of it where it says that I was told that a goal is to have an Xbox Studio game out every other month by the time the ball really gets rolling. Not A or double A games, but triple A games every other month. Who
doing that?
Who is doing that? Sony can't even do that. Nintendo can't even do that. Why do you think Microsoft Xbox Game Studios is going to deliver a AAA game every other month? That's 6 AAA games a year. There is 0 publishers in this game industry right now that's delivering 6 AAA games a year. That's stupid. That's just dumb. And that's why I don't believe this league. That's the one thing that made me say this is some bullshit. Like whoever you was full of it. You full of it, man. And look, if he turns out to be right, and they come out and say, "Yeah, we want a AAA game every other month," I'll be like, you know what? I was wrong. That dude was an insider. They still not going to deliver that. Period. Like, just give me. I want some new AAAs, like Enrique said. You know, I expected new AAAs from Sony, and I got that, and it wasn't even like a big thing. Before, like this time last week, I was like, yeah, I'm probably gonna see 1 or 2 new AAAs from Sony. And where did I get? I got 1 or 2 new AAAs from Sony. That's the expectation. Set the expectation. Your studios have a lot of talent. They are very, very good at what they do.
Yes, they have some great talent. Yeah,
I can't wait to see what the initiative is working on. That new AAA RPG that both In Exile and Obsidian are working on. I can't wait to see what Fable looks like. I can't wait to see Halo Infinite and see if 343 can actually deliver a full, complete, quality Halo game. But you know, I just don't need all the hyperbole. I don't need the hype men hyping me up. Let the games speak for themselves. Because if they really are that good, they don't need you to do all that.
Right. It's tangible. It's tangible. That's all it really comes down to. It's like, and I know people keep saying, well, you know, what we're hearing, like, we're not going to mention this. We can't mention anything until we see it. You know, we're going, you know, when people mention specific games that we have not seen yet, like Fable and this and that, it's like, we haven't seen it yet. Yeah, once they show it, then the conversation changes.
It could be anything.
You know? And trust, everybody on this panel wants to see good games. And Enrique, we've been saying it on BRAP for the longest. And when everybody was saying, "Oh, it's the media, it's this and that," they just won't give it a fair shake.
No, it's not the media.
Nobody who's the real gamers who do the media. Not everybody comes off that way, but no gamer is going to be like, "I'm just going to dog this just because." Like a gamer wants a really good game, and we've seen time and again when a good game is delivered from whoever it is, whether it's Xbox, Nintendo, Sony, it gets the review score that it's supposed to get. You know, but if you come in with BS, that's what you're going to get. And we've seen it again across the board. When any 3 of them deliver BS, they get what they deserve.
Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah, and then we got Logic Wins. Shout out to you for definitely watching this. I appreciate you being here. He says Xbox has a stacked holiday 2020. He mentions Gear Tactics coming to Series X. He said it's no bullshit. The Medium, Scorn, the Ascent, Halo Infinite. This is what I would say to you, Logic Wins. The games that you mentioned, only 2 of them were actual first-party games. So when they say they're going to have AAA games coming out every other month, maybe in that is that they're counting on, like they're talking about Game Pass, because this does talk about how Game Pass is the focus and xCloud and all that stuff kind of like just kind of all funneling into that. But the Medium, really, from the developer, like I'm not trying to talk trash. I'm not doing that at all. But they made Blair Witch. They're okay, but that's not a AAA game. Okay, Scorn. You really want to see alien penises? Like I'm sure. Like I have no
Come
idea.
come on, come on, man.
What are you really excited for that? Are you really excited for alien porn and penises being ejected out of walls? Like that's not the game. That's not it. That's
That
not
game's been in development for seven plus years.
When we said we wanted the banger, we didn't mean that kind of banger, okay? So the Ascent looks nice, but that's like an isometric, like twin stick kind of game, right? That's the one I'm thinking of. The Ascent, isn't that the one?
That actually is that actually look great looking isometric.
But that's not AAA as this insider said. That's not a AAA game.
No, it's not.
So,
it's not AAA.
So that doesn't really
Does it look like a good game? Yeah, but yeah,
it looks good.
Yeah, I mean, look, Gears Tactics. I enjoy Gears Tactics. It's not. I don't enjoy it as much as XCOM because these side missions make me just not want to play the game. Like it's just too many of them, and I gotta do a certain number of them. They're no longer side missions. If you have to do them. You know, it's just. Yeah, hopefully they kind of fine tune that before its Xbox release. But on PC, it's a fine game. It's a fine game, and I'm not saying these games aren't worth playing. I'm not saying there aren't quality games. It's just that like seeing stuff like that kind of expectation is just not realistic. No one else is doing that, and just because no one else is doing it doesn't mean it's not impossible. But it's impossible because of what the actual details say they're trying to do. That makes it impossible. That you're not doing when the ball gets rolling, a AAA game every other month. When do you consider the ball rolling? 2028? The current number of studios you got right now can't deliver that.
You look, I keep hearing though that this show is going to be fire though. Like they're bringing a lot of games. Like it's going to be fire. Like I've heard that from numerous people. So, but then when I hear it, I'm kind of like, yeah, but I've heard this before. But then it's like I'm hearing it from people that I trust, and I'm like, okay, well maybe this time, And it's crazy that I'm thinking like that, but I'm tempering my expectations. But I have heard there's going to be some new surprises. So I guess we'll have to wait and see. But I will say this: there's a lot riding on this reveal. I think more so than was riding on. People were bad. People were giving Sony kind of a hard time for not being very transparent and forthcoming, if you will, about the PlayStation 5. And their June event. There was a lot riding on the June event, but there's definitely a lot riding here, more so for Microsoft than there was for Sony. Because Sony, look, here's the thing: whether you want to admit it or not, and if Sony puts out a level of quality, and Nintendo does too. If you ever play Breath of the Wild, that's what did Breath of the Wild get? Is it like a 10 Metacritic?
Yeah, it's close to it, like a 90.
Yeah, I mean,
98.
I mean that game. I mean, when's the last time we had? And don't tell me, Metacritic or OpenCritic doesn't matter. These things matter. Those things do matter. They matter.
They get graded on the curve, Enrique.
They're flawed, but they matter. They're
well. I mean, look. Yeah. I mean, I would say go to OpenCritic. Metacritic does have its flaws, but what I'm saying is that these Game of the Year awards, recognition from the gaming industry by your peers, in terms of putting out quality content. I mean, that stuff means something, and to sit there and downplay it. I think more than anything, if you're a true fan of a brand, you're hurting your own brand by downplaying it, saying it's not important, and not asking for better. And look, there's a lot riding on this event, and I think that if they don't show us bangers, and I know people hate that word bangers. Look, you can sit there and you could talk about, and I've always said this. We've talked about this on Brad on numerous occasions, right? That great services, great hardware, yeah, that all plays a part. But it always has been. It always will actually come down to games. Always. If you've been gaming as long as we have, we've seen the most powerful consoles come and go, right? B Money, you remember the Atari Jaguar?
Yes, sir.
Panasonic 3DO.
Yep.
What happened to those consoles?
Out of here.
Why? No games.
No games, man.
Yeah, I want to shout out Brooklyn Bed-Stuy, who told me, "Slow mo, what you gonna do when Microsoft
I saw that
52 CUs on you?"
Yeah.
What
I look at
a WWE promo on me. I love it, yo.
Yeah, I love that. But look, if I'm being passionate about this, because I look, we all win. Everybody on this panel wants to see a great showing from Microsoft because we win. We win.
Yeah, absolutely.
We all win.
Yeah, I don't want people to misinterpret what I'm saying. What the all the heat I had was not for Microsoft, but for this fake insider with his fake insider information. I want a great show. I don't like seeing this kind of stuff because then these fake insiders hype people up into thinking it's going to be something that is not realistic. And I really do think we're going to get a couple of new IPs, AAA IPs finally from them. I think we're going to see Fable. I've been always said I think Playground Games is one of their better studios.
Oh, absolutely.
The 15 that they're definitely top 3 out of their 15. I think if anyone can deliver on Fable, I think they can definitely do it. Obsidian has always been a favorite of mine. I can't wait to see Outer Worlds 2 with a much bigger budget now that they don't have Private Division doing the game and they actually have Microsoft providing a much bigger budget. Whatever AAA RPG that everyone who seems to know anything about it says is going to be amazing. Yeah, I want some mic drop moments. Give me that. Because I'm a gamer, I want to see this stuff, and that's why I enjoy and play their games. But that doesn't mean I'm just going to just fall for everything. That doesn't mean I'm going to just believe everything that paints it in a nice rosy picture. That's just not realistic, man. Y'all gotta be realistic about these things.
I gotta be honest with you, I don't want to hear anything about smart delivery or backwards compatibility. Show me new games. That's it. Like you said, someone let the games do the talking.
Yeah,
I don't want to hear anything about services in the show. I know what smart delivery is. I know the BC. That stuff's all great, cool features. Like you said, Slimo, let the games do the talking.
Yep.
Forte, you're quiet, man. What's going on? What do you think?
I'm just listening to you guys, and I agree with what you guys are saying. The biggest thing is I think it's gonna be what it needs to be because that's what it has to be. It has to be this over-the-top thing that blows everybody away because this is basically it when it comes to Microsoft and what their offerings are, or at least their perceived offerings for next generation. This is their first party event. Everything's going to be thrown out there. There's no do-overs on this because everybody's going to be watching. So I think that's the case. I do think that the one thing that some people are just missing on is the fact that, the games are going to be there. I think they're going to really destroy it when it comes to the games that they're going to show because they're going to show everything that they have. But I also think when they say mic drops, it's going to be a lot of third-party stuff there that people aren't going to expect. That's going to be...
Wait. Time.
Go ahead.
Was this supposed to be a first-party event, and that's why they're going
to have everything there, sir. They're going to be wall-to-wall everything. Well, it's going to be predominantly first-party, but you're going to have third-party there too. Third-party will be there.
They said first-party event.
There will be third-party there.
Like who?
Just watch.
I don't want to see no third party there. You said a first party event. Give me first. You got 15 studios. You got 15 studios.
Listen,
if the game's in pre-production, you can show me a JPEG on the screen and have a developer come out and talk about it. Dude, 15 studios.
They're going to show that.
Studios.
They're going to show that.
A number of them are doing multiple games.
And they're going to show that.
Look, I'll even take the second party games like Don't Nods, Tell Me Why, because this is it's at least exclusive.
There's probably going to be some second party, third party.
I'll be fine with that.
Like maybe Elden Ring, that's rumored.
Right. That's what I'm not saying. It's going to be like.
Well, no, not Elden Ring, because Elden Ring's a multi-plat that's going to be on everything. What I'm saying.
Yeah, but maybe they have the marketing deal.
They probably got the marketing deal. Like Cyberpunk is definitely going to be shown there.
No marketing. There's supposed to be a first party event. You got marketing deal games out there. You got Cyberpunk out there. What's the that's just taking up space and time.
No, it's not, because if what's a mic drop moment, Slumbo? Let's say Cyberpunk.
So, a mic drop moment?
Wait, listen.
You gonna roll out
If
Keanu Reeves
they
again?
come out, listen. If they come out and say,
Recapture that match?
listen. If they come out
Keanu
and
Reeves
say,
again.
listen. If they come out and say that Cyberpunk, like everybody keeps this rumor alive about it being in Game Pass. If they come out and say that it's still available everywhere else, but it's available in Game Pass, that's not a mic drop for them.
They won't say that at this.
No, if they do though, but
They won't. I'm telling you, they won't, because that would just kill the all the pre-orders and stuff for that game.
For what? On Xbox, probably.
Exactly. So why would you do that?
Why don't you? Because there's people that y'all underestimate how many people don't care about Game Pass. Literally underestimate. I try to promote. Listen, I try to promote people to buy Game Pass.
There's 10 million people on it though.
10 million to 50. So y'all, people keep thinking that Game Pass is gonna be the one thing that's look. People do not want to play digital.
Unless they drop the bag off at WB, because WB is the one who actually distributes that game. I don't see that.
They are. But I'm not saying just that game. I'm just saying, but there will be some things there that aren't Microsoft related through their first party.
Slimo, a mic drop for me mic drop for me is a new
that's just you
banger.
That's
but not if Cyberpunk came to Game Pass, would that be a big announcement? Yes. But that wouldn't be like a big mic drop moment for me. Mic drop moment.
Yes, for you.
Yes, and for you, Cyberpunk would be a mic drop moment. Okay, we can argue this all day back and forth. My point is this. My point is that I want to see, because we've had those mic drop moments for them with partnerships like that. What you're talking about, Forte. I want to see. Yeah, we've seen some big third. Really, the two. How about the Tomb Raider exclusive deal?
That
wasn't a mic drop moment.
No, absolutely not.
Really, locking up Tomb Raider for an exclusive wasn't a mic drop moment.
No, because it's because everybody wasn't clamoring for Tomb Raider.
But Tomb Raider is an iconic franchise.
But everybody
doesn't matter if it doesn't matter if anybody wasn't clamoring. Nobody expected for Microsoft to get that game as an exclusive. Everyone on the panel, did you guys expect Microsoft to do that when they came out of Gamescom?
No.
It was the most talked about announcement at Gamescom.
No, the announcement was, when was it coming to PlayStation 4? It wasn't the fact that it was exclusive to Xbox. Everybody knew it was coming to PlayStation.
No, but everyone was shocked that it was. Everyone was also shocked that it was exclusive, that Microsoft had locked it up. And then, the conversation shifted to, well, what does the exclusivity mean? Phil Spencer saying, well, we don't own the game, or whatever the case is. The
longevity of the conversation went. That's why.
I think most people on this panel, though, like I want to ask the panel and everyone in the live chat, you guys think that Cyberpunk would be a mic drop, or would a mic drop for you be a new AAA IP that we haven't seen that just blows your mind away?
I think you're going to get that too, but I'm just saying this is just going to be a part of the conversation too.
I don't think they announced it here just because I don't think it's going to announce it's going there day and date. It probably will when the Series X is released. You know what I mean? That might be something that drops.
Yeah,
but I don't think they would announce it this early if they were going to do that.
So let me ask something real quick in terms of from a production value, though. Do you think that Microsoft has learned their lesson in terms of how to present this stuff? Like the greatest game, I mean, they can show off the greatest game, but if they're showing it on a Zoom meeting, my hype drops. So, I mean, do you think that this presentation when Microsoft does it, do you think that they've learned in terms of how to hype their games up?
I think I gave them a pass for their last one just because I felt like they were a company that was gearing up for a in-person reveal when it came to how they shut everything down. Yes, they had 2 months to prepare for that May reveal, but it still takes a lot to get that all put together, and I don't think they were ready for what they actually had to do compared to a company that knew they weren't going to be at E3 and they already had the digital plan already in place. So they had a year to actually think about it. Of course, their plans got changed. Some of the games probably that was going to get announced were probably going to be there. So they had to adjust too, but they went into it knowing that we're going to have a digital presence. I think this time, 2 months later, Xbox doesn't have any chance. They don't have a choice but to make it better. because you can't give them that same excuse this time around, because now they know what was at stake. They know what they need to do. They need to make sure that they go out and get all these people all the best that they can do when it comes to showing these games in 4K 60 frames per second. They can't.
You telling me they couldn't get Aaron Greenberg a better mic in 2 months?
Right,
A better camera.
Man.
Listen,
I was about to say, man.
An Amazon purchase.
Are you telling me
I'm
that?
not disagreeing with you on that, but for some strange reason, it didn't happen.
Aaron looked like he was in a community center library.
That was the one thing that I kept saying.
He was at FedEx Kinko's.
I kept saying during the stream, I was like, dude, this stream sucks because what's up with these cameras? I kept saying, what's up with these cameras? And like, you go to like the regular news broadcasters and they got people sitting at home with $50,000 cameras sitting in front of them. So you telling me one of the richest companies in the world can't shell out money to make sure that their live stream goes on point? I think they were surprised by exactly what they just weren't ready for it. They weren't ready for what they knew was coming. This time they ain't got that excuse at all.
Okay. I think they'll have better production values this time around. I expect to see that, and I expect they'll do better presentation of their games. JD Gaming, the $2 super chat says exclusive content from Cyberpunk for Xbox Series X. Mic drop.
That would
will never happen.
Any exclusive content either.
Okay.
I don't know. They do have the marketing.
Yeah, the marketing rights.
So yeah, they have the marketing deal.
You know what? They have the marketing deal, but it's against CD Projekt Red's
that's true.
Yeah, their culture to do exclusive content like that kind of stuff. I just can't see them doing that. If it was anyone but them, maybe, but just not CD Projekt Red. They don't believe in that kind of stuff.
Microsoft drops that bag slow-mo. They might think otherwise.
Hey, look, people said that Microsoft could buy them for like $5 billion, and look, they won't. They're just not that kind of company. They just don't believe in that stuff. Like, they also don't believe in anti-crunch. But I mean, they do what they do, but they just don't believe in treating their customers certain kinds of way. Where I'm gonna charge this one customer the same price for less content in the game than another customer. They don't do that, so that's just not going to happen with them. Yeah.
Yeah,
hey, one by Mother with this great comment in the live chat says, I don't get hyped for money hats.
Yeah. Well, there is. No, I think the biggest thing is when it comes to just what is going to be considered that mic drop, there's multiple different things. It may not, Cyberpunk might be the worst thing to bring it up because of how the company is structured and how they do things. So, but it will be something there that's not first party that's going to be involved in that moment. I also think people they kind of discount the fact of what the system is going to be. Like, I think them releasing that system, they're going to release that system real early. That system's not going to come out in October. I believe it's going to come out like either towards the middle or end of September, and they're going to drop that price. And I think the number one thing for Microsoft is to get out first, no matter what, because people need to be able to buy that system before people get a chance to buy PlayStations. Because if they allow people to go out and buy a PlayStation day one, and then they see that most of the stuff is on both platforms, they're not going to find a reason to go out and buy anything else. They already going to feel like they already have their system for next generation, compared to Sony has a very good leeway in that department because people are going to buy a PlayStation no matter what. If they buy an Xbox, they're going to buy a PlayStation. If they buy a PlayStation, they may not buy an Xbox. So Microsoft needs to get out first. And I think that price is going to be something that they're really going to stick to. And I think the fact that they're going to release it probably a month and a half earlier than that PS5 is going to release, I think that's going to be part of their little mic drop moment too. Because if you can get next generation earlier, a lot of people are going to be really interested in that.
I don't know about that. I think
that's a bold prediction.
I think when it comes to anything with hardware, it won't be that they're going to release a month earlier because the people are waiting now. I don't see anyone like, when this Xbox comes out, I can't wait 30 more days just to get the PlayStation that I really want. I don't really think that's that big a deal. I think what might be a mic drop moment when it comes to hardware is price. Like if that law card, if they announce the law card, here's the Series S and it's $200. Shit, that's a mic drop moment.
Yeah,
that's me who said I wasn't buying an Xbox this year getting a Lockhart to replace my Xbox One X immediately. Like pre-ordering that. Yeah, I'll do that. I just don't see that
I
happening.
just don't see them releasing both systems at the same time.
Yeah, well,
I think that Lockhart's going to come later.
I mean, we'll see. But
They'll announce the price on both of them, and maybe that still would be the case. You announce the price of the Lockhart and say your Series X is coming out earlier, and your Lockhart is coming out on this day, and people know exactly when it's coming and what the price is going to be. I don't think they're coming out at the same time, though. I think they're gonna milk the availability of the system. And we don't know what PlayStation is going to do. You would think they're going to release them both at the same time, but we really don't know. But they're going to milk availability. They're going to say one of these systems is going to sell out. We need to have something on the market when they don't have it. And that's how they're going to. I think that's how they're going to roll with next generation. At least at the beginning of it. After that, this holiday is up in the air. After that, it's going to be whoever just can sell the most.
Yeah, we'll see. We'll see. I mean, I agree with the price thing being a mic drop. That would be massive to come in at $399. That would be huge. The rumor is too that they're going to show the Xbox One S at this event too. So we'll see what happens.
Or some more studio acquisitions. Or what if one of those studio acquisitions is like a really prominent studio that
that'd be big. WB.
Yeah,
that would be big because people are crazy and probably wouldn't even realize that it isn't even all the IP. They'll probably
right, yeah.
You got Netherlands? Oh my God, Mortal Kombat, but they probably don't have Mortal Kombat.
That's a great point. No, that's a great point, Forte, because people that knee-jerk reaction, Forte, like you said, would be like, wow, they got Batman locked down, right?
Right.
Sony's got Spider-Man, we got Batman now, right? I mean, that's what people who aren't in the know or haven't been following the story would automatically think. That's a great point.
They go on the stage and they say we got Warner Brothers and we got Batman exclusive to the Xbox.
Woo!
Woo! Now you talking.
That would be a mic drop moment for me though. That would actually be like Batman. Okay, yeah.
But this is all.
Let me ask.
Go ahead.
Let me ask the panel something real quick.
Yes.
How important do you think is the Japanese gaming side of things? Do you think that Xbox fans want some of that Japanese content? I mean, we saw that Yakuza game, we saw that other Namco Bandai game during the third party. But do you think that what if Microsoft brought out a new Ninja Gaiden? What if they actually, or what if all of a sudden they locked up, the next Final Fantasy, something like that, Do you think that the Microsoft side of fans that they want those kinds of games?
Screw the fans. It doesn't matter. The fans don't, even if the fans don't want it, they need it because Xbox just they need to bring more diversity to their platform. Even if the fans don't want, that's the one thing I love about Sony. They will go out, even if people don't buy it, they still make it. At least it's there for somebody to buy. Like Enrique, he wants that Japanese games, but the majority of Xbox gamers probably don't want it. But the fact that it's there, it brings more prominence to the ecosystem, so they have to just do it.
Like Forte, them getting Yakuza was actually pretty big for the Xbox platform. Big get.
Up until this point, PlayStation made it a very big thing to say that you could play all of the games on our system, and then all of a sudden, here's the big reveal for the next Yakuza game on the Xbox. So, I mean, that is a big thing,
I mean, how great would it be for the Xbox to get like Persona 5, which is one of the best JRPGs this console generation?
Oh my God,
don't Sega bringing that over.
I just put in 160 hours in that game for Royal. Oh my God, and I am in love with that game.
Yeah, I mean, and that's the thing. Like with Sony, the PlayStation, like they get those games. And look, I don't know if you guys agree with me this. I think there's actually been a resurgence in the popularity of Japanese made games. Like we've seen the resurgence of Capcom. We've seen big JRPGs like Persona 5. We've seen the impact of the Final Fantasy VII remake. We've seen Yakuza have a cult following and now make its way to the Xbox platform, which I think, from what I could tell, the reception from the Xbox fan base was very positive to have that game. They pretty much have the whole collection now available. I I thought that was a big get. I think they, and I hope they do this. I hope, and I know Phil's been out there kind of beating the drum. I hope they get more Japanese support because there are some really quality titles. I mean, we talk about Atlas. Forte, what's the Atlas game you're playing?
Catherine.
Catherine. Yeah, you were raving about that game.
I love that game.
And we had Kofi on. He was raving about that game. I mean, that's the kind of game that it might not appeal to everyone, but it's still another potential quality option for somebody who owns that console. You're just rounding out your portfolio, right? Outside of your core, offerings that you have on that platform.
Yeah, I agree.
So, I mean, look, I mean, I remember there was a time when Final Fantasy wasn't even on the Xbox. Believe it or not.
Are they all? Well, not all of. Did they say that they're all coming to Game Pass at some point?
They already have.
Oh, they already have? Okay.
Yeah, they've already got the majority of them in Game Pass right now.
That's awesome. Yeah.
I didn't know that. I need to go back and play some.
Go play Final Fantasy 15.
Someone on chat mentioned Lost Odyssey. I would love a remaster of Lost Odyssey.
Yes.
That's been said so many times. At some point it's got to happen.
IP?
I think they do.
Man,
I don't even think
Walker doesn't own it.
Yeah, I don't. Is Mistwalker even still around?
Yeah, they are.
Is Sakaguchi still making games? I mean, I don't know. He retired?
I thought I read something about him making mobile games.
Yeah, they make mobile games now. Miss Walker does.
That makes sense. Mobiles get big in Japan.
Yeah.
Yeah, but see, like that's the kind of like fan service that Microsoft should kind of do. Like, if you're not going to do a big new AAA banger, go back to your bag of 360 games and pull out Lost Odyssey 2. People will go nuts over that.
Yeah.
Or just do if they have publishing rights to the first game, go out and license a developer to just remake the original. It's so old at this point. There's a whole community, a demographic of RPG fans who probably just missed out on the game completely. So, I mean, I'll take that.
Yeah,
because they tuned it up like how everybody was hyped up for Demon Souls. You know what I mean? If they tuned it up that same way, people would go crazy for that.
Yeah, exactly. Right.
Yeah, that's a great point. Look at Demon Souls. I mean, it's going to be exclusive. I mean, that's just and guys, we know of another big franchise that's coming to PlayStation that we can't really talk about. So, yeah. So, and then look, after July, guys, there's the PlayStation August event, and they have two other big AAA exclusives that they're going to show, that PlayStation is going to show at that August event.
You think those might be like launch window games?
I don't know, but yeah, they're going to show two more games. I don't know. Who knows?
What's technically considered launch window? Is that 1 year?
Like, I would say within the first 6 months.
First 6 months. Okay.
First two quarters. Yeah.
Yeah. Hey, real quick, guys, get the super chat from JD Gamer. $10 super chat. Thank you again, JD. Since Japan is important in terms of development, but less and less important in terms of Japanese people buying the console, and Xbox 360 proves 84 million sold with only 1.5 million sold in Japan. Go ahead, Kronos. You were to say something, man.
No, I was going to say, I don't know what you're talking about, only because I really feel like the bottom of the totem pole when it comes to PlayStation stuff right now, because you're talking about some sort of hidden game that I have no idea what the hell you're talking about.
Yeah, so look, there's a while back I did hear that there's the hidden game we can't talk about. But would you guys agree on the panel? It's a big one.
Yeah,
it's pretty big. It's pretty major.
Yeah, like people are gonna.
It's a mic drop moment.
Have somebody crying.
Look, Jeremy.
My home office doesn't love me at all. I swear to God.
They got this man in the cellar.
yeah, you like the dude from Office Space.
Please, sir, no, don't take my stapler.
Don't take my DualShock though. No, we can't talk about that all live, but no, the August event that they're supposed to show two more AAA exclusives for the PlayStation 5, and I had heard about this, and then Jess Corden was on a podcast I was listening to, and he said yes, he knows what games are coming or they're going to be showing the August event, but he can't say. So I think that's further confirmation that Sony's going to be showing two more games at this August event. They're going to be AAA games. So. Yeah, this. Let me tell you, it's just an exciting time to be a gamer. all around.
Oh, definitely.
Oh, yeah,
yeah,
absolutely.
definitely.
Yeah,
Mhm.
you know, and now go ahead, man.
And I was gonna say, you know, and shit, you throw in Nintendo revealing their Pokemon Snap. Ah, shit, I'm there, man. Yeah.
Oh my god, Nintendo. Yeah. Yeah, and then Slomo and I have been we've got some good news. Slomo, our PCs are good, unlike what what the naysayers were saying.
I'm very happy over here with what I just got last week and what I'm getting very, very soon. But Persona 4 Golden was just, oh man.
Oh, did you pick it up?
Yeah, I bought it last Saturday when it came out.
Ooh,
And
I need to
I've
buy
been
that.
playing through it. They actually gave you some really good options for resolution, and I mean it's not robust on what we were used to seeing with graphical options on PC.
No, it's not.
But it's for a game that's that old, it looks a lot better than it does on the Vita.
On the Vita,
so, or PS3. So that's enough for me. It runs extremely well. It's a quality game, so I'm happy.
Yeah. JD Gamer with the awesome $2 super chat. Thank you, sir. Says Silent Hill GTA 6 exclusive. No, that's not going to be. Well, maybe Silent Hill. Maybe that's one of the games. Who knows?
Man,
You guys,
GTA 5 is coming out in 2021 on next gen consoles.
Exactly.
Anytime soon.
Next gen.
next gen, yeah. But Slobo, our PCs are good though, man. Despite what the naysayers were saying. Remember?
Oh yeah. What was the
Digital Foundry
that came out was like, hey, look, if you have a 2070, RTX 2070 or higher, in regards to how powerful or fast that GPU is, then you're good for next gen. There's no need to upgrade, although there will be plenty of us who will just because. But hey, if you got that, don't worry about your GPU. You're good.
When I saw that, I had to rethink my thought. I don't know if I want to wait for a 3080 to come out.
Well, see, now you don't have an RTX card, and I do believe when Digital Foundry did that list of like all these GPUs and they only highlight 2 that said these are next gen ready, it's because your particular GTX card does not have ray tracing.
Well, no, I was talking about do I want to wait for the 3080 or do I just want to just get the 2080?
Well, I mean the 30 series rumored.
Because I don't know when because the thing is
it's rumored September, Forte.
Yeah, and that's the thing. I think this Xbox is coming out in September, and I'm not trying to
man. Stop doing that. Do not make a PC decision based off of your off the wall Xbox.
Listen. I can only go off of what I believe, man.
Forte,
I don't tell you what to believe.
Forte, why do you believe this though?
We're still trying to figure out why you believe this.
Forte, if you said to me, hey, Enrique, I think that the Series X is going to launch 2 weeks before the PlayStation 5. I might say, you know what? That's reasonable. I could see that. You're saying like 2 months.
No, I'm talking about like end of September, which would be what? Well, you got to remember,
that's about a month. That's a month and some odd weeks.
Yeah, PlayStation 4 came out the week before, like October 22nd.
Black Friday. It came out the week of Black Friday.
Oh, it was Black Friday. You're right.
Yeah.
And the Xbox One came out the week after.
I think we've
The
had
week
a
after.
console since the Dreamcast.
No, it came out the week before. It came out on
Xbox came out the week after.
Yeah, Forte, we haven't had a.
Well,
I mean, yeah, maybe you're right, man. I don't know, but
No, he's not right. Look, Forte,
you don't want me to be right. You don't want me to be right.
Forte, listen.
Forte, do you just say things to get Slow-mo like riled up?
No,
sometimes.
I think he does. He absolutely.
I think he says
it's
it's
not
everything
this.
because he's waiting for you to take the bait, Slow-mo.
Look, Forte.
There is no bait. When it happens, here's what's going to happen.
Forte, listen. This is what I'm saying. Do not get a 2080 Ti, and this is why.
Okay.
The majority of the rumors when they talk about the power of the Ampere NVIDIA line, you said, should I go get a 3080 or should I wait or should I now wait and just get the 2080? Don't get the 20 anything if you're going to upgrade, because the 3060 is at the same level of the 2080 Ti. The 2080 Ti is over $1,000. That 3060 is not going to be that much.
I'm not going to want a 3060 though.
But okay, but that's what I'm saying. Like, what's the purpose of getting something that's going to be so far outclassed by the next line?
Because it says Ti at the end of it. No, not really.
Yeah, that's not a good reason. But I'm saying, but like, if the worst of the next line is better than the best.
No, you're right. Okay, I'm glad. See, this is why I say the things I say, because Slow-Mo can put me in my place on this one. I'll let him do that, but he ain't gonna try to convince me that this system ain't coming out in September.
Wait, okay. Some of the live chat. Wait, some of the live chat said, Nine Live said, Rand said he heard the Series X was supposed to release September. Is that where you're getting that, Forte? Did you hear Rand say that?
I didn't hear Rand say that. That's what I believe.
Rand might be listening to Fortes. He's just going around spreading information to people. Man, you even got Rand caught up in this. Poor Rand.
Poor Rand.
I know
Rand.
Rand.
Out to Rand Althor, by the way.
I know Rand has been said. I know Rand did say that, but I said it before Rand said it.
Well,
Rand has people that he talks to. I'm just going off of the cuff, just saying that I think it's going to release early. Because it has to. See, listen, all my prediction for this system is not based in fact, is not based in what I actually know. It's not based in it. It's literally based in what I think Microsoft needs to do if they want to be successful next generation. If they want to be successful at the beginning of next generation, they need to release first, and those systems need to be staggered. They don't need to be releasing at the same time. So my whole thought process on this whole thing is what I think they need to do. So if I was running it, this is what would happen.
Before don't they have to release both to win MPD holiday?
Well, the holiday's 3 months. October, November, what is it? October, November, and December.
Yeah, but that would be the same within the same launch window, right? They do both.
Yeah. Holiday. They'll both be in a holiday.
You're just saying they don't need to launch day and date together.
They don't, but they'll launch in the same quarter, which is still the holiday.
Okay. All right, we'll see. I mean, OBM saying that he said a few people said the original plan was for September launch, but they may have changed due to the pandemic. So,
yeah, I know. I heard Rand say that because he even said that that's when. But like I told you, my whole thought process was kind of debunked a little bit because Sony came out of surprises with 2 systems. Didn't expect that, so I might be taking a nail and owe Slow-Mo some money. Might be.
You might as well. I might as well just tell you what I want in January.
Just put the pre-order in right away, right?
Well, if that's the case, you could just tell Villain to pay you from my stock.
Oh my goodness!
No, you know that's gonna owe me, not Villain. So like,
the internet is forever, man.
I don't have a problem with the internet knowing everything I say. The internet, take it and run with it. That's fine.
Wow. Yeah. All right, gentlemen. Well, you know what? Great show as always. I want to give a big shout out to everyone in the live chat. Thank you guys for coming by and hanging out with us tonight. Remember, hit that like button. And if you haven't done so already, subscribe, hit the bell notification, let you know when we go live. I want to give a big shout out to our special guest this evening, Chrono, who apparently doesn't get any love from Sony PlayStation.
No love.
Yeah, no love here. We're talking about stuff. He's like, what did you hear? What? But hey, man, seriously, man, it's always a pleasure having you on here on Brat, man. Thank you again, bro.
Man. Thank you for having me. Thank you.
You know, absolutely. Open door policy. Anytime you want to come, man, just let us know. Again, it's always a pleasure talking video games. And also want to give a big shout out to my man, taller than PS5, Eric Jackson.
Oh, appreciate that, Enrique. I like the shout out.
Told you I wouldn't forget you, sir.
I appreciate the outro for 5 years of podcasting with you. I appreciate it.
Oh, man. He had to because Eric was threatening.
Yo, he was like, I'm about to start. What were you going to start?
Yo, we were going to start GRAP Podcast, Garage Radio Arcade
Garage
Podcast.
Radio Arcade Podcast.
Coming up from the basement.
Coming up from the basement.
We moved from the basement to the garage?
Yep.
You're right.
Yeah, we couldn't.
We're big time now. Man, let everyone know where they can find you.
We got juice boxes in the garage, man.
Juice boxes.
Juice boxes.
Oh, juice boxes.
And chips.
Chips. We got organic juice boxes.
Yeah. Yeah, organic.
Yeah.
Artisanal.
What is juice? What's some of that grape drink, baby?
Just make sure you don't drink somebody else's stuff because they got their names on it.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, exactly.
But no, good show, man. It was great. Always a pleasure talking to you guys. And Chronos, thanks for coming through, man.
Thank you.
But yeah, you guys, you can find me Twitter, EC Jackson with an X. And other than that, Saturday night gaming perspective, 8:00 Saturday nights.
Awesome. Yeah, you guys need to check out Game Perspective. Really great show, by the way.
Yeah, come on through.
Yeah. No, really good stuff. I want to go to a $600 Forte. Forte, always a pleasure chatting with you, debating with you. Always appreciate your insight. Please let everyone know where they can follow you, where they can find you.
Oh yeah, it's Gaming Forte, YouTube and Twitter. It's basically Gaming Forte everywhere at this point. Now that I changed it, even on Xbox Live. Yeah, great show, man. Krodos is always a pleasure, sir. I can't wait for you to finally come back in the store so we can
come on back to me.
Stuff that I be wanting to talk about, the people that just don't understand anymore. But
I understand.
You understand.
Bugsnax the Chitlins edition. That's what it's going to be. Bugsnax the Chitlins edition.
Soul Food DLC coming at you.
With yo, Pig Feet DLC too. Pig Feet expansion.
Every time I'm in the kitchen, you're in the kitchen. You know all the pig's feet.
Yeah, but check out the channel and stuff. Tomorrow we'll be doing a reaction to the EA Plays event tomorrow night. I'll promote who's going to be on the show with me tomorrow, so you guys could be a little bit surprised who it's going to be, and we're going to have fun with it tomorrow. So y'all have a good week.
Forte has Aaron Greenberg joining him tomorrow. He didn't want to spoil it, but I'm going to spoil it for him. Check it out.
Man, you got to connect.
Nah.
I'm just saying, man. You follow a lot of industry leaders. I know you got the hookup.
That's B Money. B Money's got the connect.
Oh.
Yeah, he's got this. Yeah. Anyhow, speaking of B Money, B.
Yo.
Hey, man. Always a pleasure, sir. Let everyone know where they can find you, man.
All right, you can find me everywhere. Same name, man. B Money 101. I will probably be doing a lot of reaction to the EA Play event tomorrow.
Yes.
So come through and check that out, especially if they announce Battlefield 6.
Woo!
So
I'll be there right with you if they do.
Yeah. Pretty excited about that. And then June 25th, when they do the Cyberpunk live stream, I'll probably be live streaming that as well. So come through, man.
Yeah, no doubt, man. All right, awesome. And last but not least, Slow-Mo Damas. I said it right this week.
Good one. Great show, guys. And actually really, really good chat. Appreciate you guys coming out. And check me out on Twitter, same name. And well, not Slow-Mo Damas, but Slow-Mo Backslap. And YouTube as well. I just came out with a video yesterday. Today's Monday. I came out with a video Monday about Keen the Bridge of Spirits and the history of Ember Lab, which I really like the video. I may be a bit biased because I made it. Check it out. I think it's pretty good, and I got a lot more on the way. So yeah.
Slow-Mo, look, man. Let me tell you something.
The video.
What the fans want from Slow-Mo Backslap is a video on Bugsnax.
Yes.
I don't think I can deliver that. I don't think I could stomach it.
Why? we want to know about we want to know about the Pig's Feet DLC. Come on.
Oh man, no, I'm gonna pass. I'm gonna have to pass on that. Maybe that's something that you can deliver, Enrique.
No, I'm not. No. Maybe you could do Grounded for us. Why don't? Hey, you should do the beta for Grounded. Do the beta for Grounded, and then do a video on it. Like play the beta and then do a video.
Nah, I'm a pass on that one too. Look,
wait. You said your YouTube channel was based on the smaller games that people.
Thank you, Forte.
Smaller.
That's your channel.
Good games. Let's
good. You're the one that gave us this disintegration with your first video.
With like stick figures running around the screen. Smaller. Good games.
How do we know?
How do you know it's not good? How do you know it's not good, Slow-Mo?
I have eyes.
Have you played Grounded?
You don't need to. You don't need
Why?
to.
No, why don't you play it, man?
I'm not interested. I am not interested. Why don't you
Slow-mo.
play grounded? You play grounded.
Hey,
You
you want to get back into streaming. You told Erica that.
Listen, man, I'm about to
sure
I'm about
did.
to
You
put
need
a
to
poll up.
stream some grounded, Enrique.
Hey,
You know what?
everybody on the panel, I'm
I
about
don't
to
have
put up
to-
a poll.
I don't have
I'm gonna
time.
put a poll up. I'm gonna put a poll up on
I'll
Twitter.
tell you I can tell you the videos I got in my pipeline. I got a video of my Gears Tactics impressions.
You know what? I'm gonna stream Grounded for the fans. That's what I'm gonna do.
I got a video coming out for Little Devil Inside, Mortal Shell, Project Alti, Elite, whatever that is. But that ain't even a real name.
And all those games are better than Grounded, and you ain't even.
Oh yeah,
played it
absolutely, absolutely. Quantum League also, I think, is a really interesting.
Yeah, 14. How does he know those games are better?
yet. I don't know, man. He's frauding right now.
How
You are frauding,
frauding
Slomo.
over ground? You frauding right now? You
No, Slomo,
you won't even play.
you are.
I'm not gonna take this slander. I am not hearing any of this. I ain't gonna try to get me to play a game and do a video, waste my very limited time on the video.
Slomo, but you gotta understand, the fans want Slomo. They expect you to
If
do
it
this.
touched your skin, you would have it take a bath in rubbing alcohol. Yeah, rubbing alcohol in whiskey to get the stench of it off of you. And now apparently I'm supposed to play that. I don't think so.
You lost me there, Slomo. But Dizzy says that you're afraid of spiders. Is that true? Is that the problem?
That is also true, but that's not what's wrong with that game.
See, I thought Grounded would be. I thought if there's anyone that could do a great Grounded video, it's Slomo, because he usually highlight a lot of smaller games, passion projects. You know, I thought this would be a good one to highlight, man. I think the fans want Slomo backslap.
Everybody go to Twitter. I just put up a poll. Do you want Slomo backslap to make a video on Grounded, Dembo? Yes or no?
As if you guys do not know how Twitter works.
Let's do this. Get me to 1,000 subs on my YouTube channel. I will give you a Grounded video. I will give you the best Grounded
400.
video.
If we get you to 400.
I said 1,000, sir.
1,000. That's more people that's in the chat right now.
Oh, hey, well, look, y'all better figure it out. Y'all better do some advertising, some fundraising or whatever. Figure it out. But I'm not doing a Grounded video for under 1,000. I don't think so.
All right, everyone subscribe to Slomo's YouTube channel, and that way we can get him to do the video for Grounded. And by the way, there'll be a couple thousand people that have viewed this show once it goes up on the channel. So for those of you guys, those who are going to listen to the show later on,
if you
subscribe to the channel.
Y'all do this, I will make it sound like the greatest game ever.
No, you ain't got it. That's not genuine. We want genuine Slomo backslap. We want to know if it get 3 backslaps out of 10.
All right, I mean, you're asking for the impossible here.
No, that is not impossible. Make a video on the Grounded demo.
Good. Like, I mean, what you want?
I just want you to we just want you to make a video on the newest game that Xbox has got releasing and let people know if it's a nay or a nay or a yay. That's it. That's all we want.
Look, Slomo, you're good, man. You already have the lowest expectation for the game. You play it. It got nothing but up. You have nowhere to go but up.
Yeah, exactly. Nowhere to go but up.
I can't. Grounded.
Forte, I voted for the poll, by the way.
Everybody, it's a bunch of people voting on the poll.
There really is a poll. Oh, come on, man.
There's a poll.
There's a poll up.
Oh man, once Lucas sees that.
Oh, we got to DM Luca, Forte.
No.
Yes.
Well, I'm not the only one who voted no. What is?
All right, everyone. On that note, thank you everyone for hanging out with us tonight. We'll be back next week, Wednesday night, 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And everyone have a great, safe weekend. For all the fathers out there, have a happy Father's Day weekend. We'll see you next week. Peace.
Oh my God, 80 Slow-mo.